Test 1 2. Hello, everybody here. Anybody there? Hello, good evening, Sweets and James. I see you guys. What is happening? Getting ready to go here. About 30 seconds. We got, looks like Restream's working again. What's up? Eli's here. What's going on? We got Ari the Cat, Sweets, MJ. What's happening, folks? Commercial Herschel over there on Kick. What is up? Hello, good evening, James and Mr. Mission Control checking in. What's going on, folks? We got Gordo, Hiker, and Troubled Minds Media. What's up? Shout out, guys, over there on Rumble and Rockfin Quiet Just Yet. And we'll get Kick, Commercial Herschel, and here we go. Troubled Minds happening right now.
But I think the development of full artificial intelligence would spell the end of the human race.
It's a flying object and we don't know what it is. I would hope somebody is checking it out.
With the rocket or whatever, but incredibly fast, opposite direction. They were too fast to be an airplane.
I'm glad the Pentagon is looking at this, because if it poses a threat, I want them on top of it.
Well, the craft generates its own gravitational field.
You said there's lights in the sky?
The internet has become the command center for criminals and terrorists.
911, what's your emergency? I need help, please help me!
Aliens won't let it happen. You know, that's what we're instructed to say.
Roswell, Area 51. Alien kept deep under the ground.
1 0
Doesn't have your best interest in mind. The government is self-serving. You're here for a reason. You're listening to Troubled Minds Radio. Broadcasting live from a secret bunker just off the extraterrestrial highway. Somewhere in the desert sands outside of Las Vegas. From somewhere in space-time, loosely labeled Generation X on planet Earth. And asking questions of you in earnest into the digital darkness. Good evening and welcome to Troubled Minds Radio. I'm your host, Michael Strange. We are streaming on YouTube, Rockfin, Rumble, Twitter, Twitch, DLive, and Kick. We are broadcasting live on the Troubled Minds Radio Network. That's KUAP Digital Broadcasting, and of course, 88.4 FM Auckland, New Zealand on the Underground Media Network. What's going on, guys? Hope you are well tonight. Happy Sunday. Happy Yuletide. Happy holidays. All those things. Merry Christmas. Whatever it is you actually celebrate or not, that's okay too. I know some people just don't celebrate at all. It's all fine by me. You do you, and that's good enough for me. Tonight, I got a doozy for you, per usual, right? Last time we had a great conversation Friday night with Twitter X Spaces. Thank you for everybody who participated in that. That will hit the podcast feed on Tuesday and Thursday. Now, we were discussing kind of an extension of the Thursday night's ghosts from the future, right? Sort of the blind spot in the zeitgeist, which I think is an important thing. We'll probably loop that into a conversation in the future. But it led me into, of course, some other ideas here, which are one of my favorites, one of your favorites. It's this: if you got to pick one thing other than sort of like the alien, really big tropes like Bob Lazar and stuff like that. That's always super popular. People are interested in, maybe the 2024 take or whatever it is. But probably the second most popular on Troubled Minds has always been the shows about dreams. And I think there's a good reason for that, right? We all visit Dreamtime and spend a ton of our time there, actually either lucid or not, or some of us remember our dreams, some of us do not. Well, was going through the articles that I've pulled out and set aside for these weird and wild ideas, and I came across this one. Now, we've talked about lucid dreaming quite a lot in the past. Now, how do you do it? Some people can, some people can't. Can you teach yourself to? Right? There's a whole manner of things, just a cascade of ideas that kind of flow out of this particular thing, dreams in particular, and then on top of that, the lucid part of it. Okay, which of course means you're awake, sort of awake-ish. Brack-ish reality, like we always talk about, but you're awake-ish as part of the dream, and you can kind of control the dream and lead the dream, right? Okay, well, I saw this, and this gets wild, right? Check this out. So this is from scipost.org, and this is from last month, November 12th. But check it out. Pretty wild stuff. I've been sitting on this one for a minute because we took some time off, but headline is this. Lucid dreaming app triples users' awareness in dreams. Study finds. Oh, really? You don't say. Triples the awareness, right? Of course, which means you could lucid dream quite a bit easier. It's in this little app that you have on your. Wait, let me just read a little bit to you, because this is, I don't know, maybe this is amazing. Maybe this is disturbing. You tell me. So in a recent study published in Consciousness and Cognition, researchers at Northwestern University showed that a smartphone app using sensory cues can significantly increase the frequency of lucid dreams. Those, of course, are dreams in which a person is aware they are dreaming while still asleep. This study marks the first attempt to apply a lucid dreaming method called targeted lucidity reactivation outside of a lab environment, demonstrating that even a simple at-home approach can help users experience more lucid dreams. Right? It's fine, right? Lucid dreaming has drawn increasing public interest for its potential benefits, including enhancing creativity. I don't think we're short of that here on this show, but overcoming nightmares, maybe we have some of those, and providing a space for personal growth and skill practice. Traditional techniques for inducing lucid dreams involve cognitive exercises such as keeping a dream journal, performing reality checks, and practicing intention setting before sleep. We've talked about all this stuff quite a lot in the past, and so it plays, right? It plays. Many of you are lucid dreamers yourselves. I've heard about the dream journaling and the intention setting, all this stuff. It's fascinating. I've never, again, when I'm done with this, and you guys know me, I put this together, I stay up till about midnight or 1, and then I'm out. I don't have time for intention setting anything with this show and the full-time job and everything, but it doesn't mean this isn't real, of course, right? Those reality tunnels. I could be like, this is all hogwash because I've never tried it, right? Yeah, it doesn't make any sense to say something like that. But anyway, so the article continues, and I'll stop here and we'll start riffing a little bit. But although these techniques can be effective, they require significant dedication and consistency. Okay, cool. A streamlined at-home approach could make lucid dreaming more accessible to the general public. The researchers wanted to explain whether a simplified, app-based approach using targeted lucidity reactivation, what a term there, huh? A method previously successful in a controlled lab setting could be adapted for use outside the lab with minimal technical requirements. Super cool, right? So what does that look like? I don't know. I haven't downloaded the app. I haven't tried it. Like I said, this is not my thing. I'm not a lucid dreamer, all right? I barely remember my dreams as it is. But here's the thing, the weird thing. Now, if you have this app and you're actually using this, clearly there's going to be some sort of, hit and miss. Okay. Not everybody's going to be tuned into this and be able to say, yeah, this is absolutely working. It's going to work better for some people. It's not going to, just across the cross section of individuals that, are into this type of stuff, or maybe susceptible to this type of stuff. Maybe it's like a little bit like, as they say, what is the term? Hypnosis. Some people are very susceptible to it. Some people are not, right? And so maybe this is a similar thing. Which means, of course, the technology, as this technology develops, they would be able to dial this in and maybe sort of make it a ubiquitous thing where it worked on everybody, which would be amazing, right? Like if suddenly you had this little app, you just turn it on, maybe it's some white noise, maybe some weird tones or something. Maybe you put headphones on and go to sleep to that. I don't know how it actually works, but just conceptually, the idea of this moving forward in the next, let's say, 5 to 10 years as we accelerate. The acceleration is happening. As I say, we've been talking about the quickening for quite some time now. And it seems like the quickening itself has become not just, let's say, the old Art Bell style, as I always bring up, but beyond that, it turns into something else, like the AI quickening, right? That acceleration. So yeah, and of course this has me wondering a quite great many things. And this other article, we'll drop this one now, but this is from, Forbes.com. And the other thing that got me thinking about this, and we'll get back to this after the break, but AI is now co-creator of our collective intelligence. So watch your back is the headline here, okay? And you see where I'm heading with this. So this is by Lance Elliott. This is on November 18th. So so this basically examines the emerging realization that society has a new co-creator when it comes to creating and distributing intelligence. That illustrious co-creator, of course, is AI. And that doesn't mean that AI is sentient, straight from the article here. Yet, it isn't. The gist is that via mathematical and computational processing, such as generative AI and large language models, humankind is spurring a rapid increase in intelligence and dispersing that intelligence via the internet to all corners of the world. Okay, so you see what I'm saying here. You combine the two ideas very simply, and you get an acceleration of lucid dreaming induced by possibly AI systems, right? Something happens. And yeah, anyway, put a pin in that, keep that, put that in your pipe and smoke it for the moment. And we're going to take a quick break and get a word from our sponsor. But think about an app that you could use that could force lucid dreaming, force you to be awake in your dream realm and able to control your dreams themselves. Cool, right? Sounds fine? Sounds fine to me. But I can see some problems. How about you? Anyway, be right back. A quick word from our sponsor. In this case, that would be Human Inspiration. Don't go anywhere. More Troubled Minds on the way. Be right back. In a world increasingly shaped by AI, human inspiration remains the beating heart of creativity. Alien Skin by Tremble, a hauntingly beautiful piano ballad, reminds us that while algorithms can mimic art, the raw, unfiltered emotions of human experience are irreplaceable. So here I sit, locked in my room again. Written and composed by Jesse Ian in collaboration with Todd Smith, this progressive masterpiece delves into the depths of internalized grief and the silent toll of artistic compromise. As AI reshapes our reality, Alien Skin stands as a testament to the timeless power of human emotion and the complex beauty that only true artists can evoke. Experience the haunting beauty of Alien Skin by Tremble and support human inspiration. Available now on iTunes. And welcome back to Troubled Minds. I'm Michael Strange. Let us continue, shall we? Okay, so you follow where I'm at. Now, the weird part here is that recognize that as we accelerate, and that becomes the term everybody's using, LFG, let's freaking go. Everybody's so excited about what the AI systems are going to bring, and they're talking immortality. They're talking, the post-capitalist future, post-capitalism. They're talking about abundance. They're talking about, feeding the hungry people the world over. And as you know me, I'm a glass half full type of guy, and I can see that level of actual interesting things possible. Now, possible doesn't mean likely or probable. It means it's something that can probably be handled and done, right? But of course, we still have the same, as I said, the last couple of times we did shows here, meet the new gods. They're the same as the old gods. Shout out Derek the Night Stalker. And the reason for that is because, well, who's controlling these AI systems? Who's feeding the algorithms on the training data? Who's doing all manner of wild stuff that would maybe seed these things to think that, this type of person is more deserving than that type of person, right? And once you sort of take an AGI, which is artificial general intelligence, and then feed this bias into a artificial super intelligence, then suddenly, right, the backbone or the framework of its ideas and philosophical thought space is problematic, right? Because back to that, the masters and the cold hard spreadsheet of, well, these people deserve these things, but those people don't. And me, I think it's all ridiculous to frame anything like that. I think specifically we should be able to say, okay, abundance means everybody. And I've talked about this before in the past personally, that you can't tell me abundance and then, leave people starving in Africa type of stuff, right? Like I'm sorry, that doesn't work for me. That's not abundance. That is absolutely not. Just because we get more of what we want in the West, it doesn't necessarily mean there are places in the world, and don't get me wrong, there are people starving here too. I'm just saying there are other parts of the world where it is, an actual epidemic of starvation. And so I tell you what, I'm even for a glass half full type of guy, when I hear everybody just trying to step on the gas pedal and say, oh, LFG, let's freaking go, right? We have some systems to break first, like actual systems to break. And there are rulers of those systems, true, actual, very powerful people that do not want those systems broken. Okay. So, and some of that looks like money may be irrelevant in the coming years or something. Yeah, fine. Cool. Look, I am not the arbiter of anybody's truth, as I always say, barely my own. And so in that sense, well, that's fine. That seems fine. As long as everybody's taken care of, I don't care. I don't care. Like that type of thing is there are sort of the framework of structures, okay, in your mind on how this stuff works or doesn't work and what you want. And to me, at the top of it is everybody taken care of? And I mean everybody, nobody left behind. And that's number one. Everything else, all the ideologies, all the rest of it comes secondary to that. Whatever. Okay. I don't care how it happens as long as it happens. And I mean, you don't have to butcher half of the planet conceptually to feed the other half. You get it? Okay. So that's a very, very fine distinction to make because it's important. All right. But anyway, so I digress a little bit on that. But the point is that if we're dealing with these AI systems and the growing capacity of this coming abundance, well, it's going to become, as I like to use the term, ubiquitous. And right now, many of you have maybe not used AI tools or understood sort of the acceleration that's happening or how quickly this has escalated from, ChatGPT writing, funny poems to these actual agentic AI systems being able to do the work of human beings. Well, let me tell you what, I promise you this. I promise you in 2025, this will become a thing. They are right there. Like I said, we talked about this in the past, computers using computers. Remember I said you're going to have to buy a laptop for your ChatGPT to use so they don't have access to your full everything, but they could hack into your Wi-Fi anyway and do it anyway on your network. But I'm just saying, right? This is where we're heading. And so we're going to have these assistants that are as capable or more capable than a human worker. And then they'll scale. And then compute will become cheaper. And then everybody will supposedly have these things, these tools. Okay, cool, right? Fantastic. You can get all your work done. Okay. What if people don't have computers? You see what I mean? There's definitely going to be a stark difference between abundance and not. But the reason I'm bringing up abundance and the idea of the ubiquitous future of not just AI systems, it comes back to this dreaming, this dreams. I'm calling this dreams under siege tonight because there's a lot of ways to look at this. And specifically, if we're using an app that does some sort of white noise or tones or something, right, to make you lucid dream. Like I said, they will eventually dial in that technology to maybe even, dare I suggest, infiltrate your dreams. Okay? Because recently Elon Musk said this, and you guys are very familiar. We've talked about this. But he said that once ChatGPT becomes hard-coded into Apple phones, he will no longer allow Apple phones into his facilities because basically they become agentic spyware. All right, not just regular spyware that we're all used to. This becomes next level stuff. Okay? Anyway, you get the idea. So ubiquity in this sense is, it's cool when everything works. But when you start to infiltrate places of privacy that are not supposed to be infiltrated, and in this case our dreams, we have a massive problem. Do you understand? So the two ideas kind of come together in that space. The two articles, again, we started with the lucid dreaming. The app triples users' awareness in dreams, the study finds. So what other type of course, dream manipulation can come of this technology? And, well, how dark or weird or wild or amazing does this get? And that becomes the question, right? And then the other part is, of course, from Forbes here, that's, AI is now the co-creator of our collective intelligence. And it says, so watch your back. Now, I don't think that's a dark harbinger here, but I do think it is one of those situations where we should be wary. We should understand what's happening around us and maybe not be so quick to sort of strap in I don't know, what would you call it? A lucid dream machine into your sleeping space, okay? I don't know anything you don't know. I'm just me. I don't have any inside sources. I just have my intuition telling me this might be a bad idea, okay? Anyway, so as this kind of goes through its paces here, the first part that comes to my mind is not just this. These two ideas coming together and us using artificial intelligence and these dream apps to force us to lucid dream, but also what does it look like when you start manipulating the dream realm itself? Like, is that possible? So if you can do that, with your own mind now that you're lucid, could this app that you're playing that helps you become lucid in the dream actually have some way to do the other half? Maybe generate the dream space, maybe, and we've talked about this before a little bit, sort of terraforming the dreamland, I think I called it, something to that effect, paving the way for AI systems to get into our dreams. The old androids dream of electric sheep, the old Philip K. Dick story, right? That whole bit. But you get the idea. So with the ubiquitous nature of this, it does make me hesitant about a lot of stuff. Like I said, I'm a glass half full type of guy by nature. It's just how I am. Luckily, I don't have I don't really vary from that too much. I can think of doom, and I can describe doom, and I can think of terrible things, but I can also think of wonderful things. And I think it's quite a bit different and more interesting to think of wonderful things regarding the future. But you see how it's complicated. Anyway, so check this out. So I was thinking of not just in terms of where I started here, but this gets more strange because this does become that dystopian future, right? Of actual dreaming apps doing something like secretly embedding maybe AI-driven propaganda into your dreams. Maybe around election time, we talked about dreamvertising on a show a couple years back, and maybe that will become a thing. So this is one way you could kind of do that through a lucid dreaming app. Suddenly you're not dreaming at all. Then you dream of one particular president, right? A very polarizing individual type of thing that shows up in your dreams. You get what I mean? But so if you can embed this sort of AI-driven propaganda or more subtle, slight behavioral nudges into your dream space, then is it a way to sort of bypass sort of our what we call it, our waking defenses would be the way to put that, and alter, let's say, even societal norms and beliefs and regarding ideologies or these other things. Like I said, and you guys know me, I try and decouple from ideologies as much as possible and just be common sense. Just throw that crap out. It doesn't matter where this stuff starts to happen. It's or how much you're affected by it. If you can throw out what you've been taught and just think in common terms, common sense, good old-fashioned Hobbit common sense, as I like to say, then you recognize, like I said, the most important part is dropping all the bombs and buying food for hungry people instead. That's it. Stop killing each other and start helping each other. It's simple. It's very common sense. But of course, that's very utopian because you have the control mechanisms, as I always talk about, that don't want that. And of course, they are also in, let's say, power spaces right now because of AI. And you know who they are, Sam Altman, Elon Musk, these people that run these massive companies that suddenly were maybe not powerful a few years back. I was talking about Sam Altman, and now suddenly he's a kingmaker. And that type of stuff, that level of power, is not something that's easily laid aside. You get what I mean? So all this stuff is in its infancy, and I'm dreaming, okay? I'm sort of dream extrapolating forward on what this might be and some of the dangers or perils as part of it. And I don't like being propagandized at all. I don't like being gaslit, and I don't like nefarious systems sneaking into what I'm doing. As you guys know, as you guys probably don't either. And so there's a problem with this, right? So I don't know. Lots of ways to look at this, lots of ways to consider it, but that's where we start. Sort of the idea of these lucid dreaming apps and some level of mass mind control, whether it's ideologies, whether it's politics, whether it's, you name it. Again, slight behavioral nudges into these dreams, changing society ever so slightly. Now, it's happening in our education system. It's happening in so many other ways as part of it. The judicial activism stuff. There's a ton of things happening where this has already sort of invaded the West, okay? And it's going to continue. But once it begins invading our dreams, we have another problem entirely. And that's why I'm like, wait a minute now. So I just urge you some caution before you run out and grab, for maybe next Christmas, the latest lucid dreaming device and smash go as you go to sleep and talk about how great your dreams were. Because you never know what sort of subliminal messages are being slept in through the tonal aspects of the white noise and whatever's happening with that app itself, because your actual waking defenses are down. Anyway, so that's where we start. And so I'm calling this again, so Dreams Under Siege and Humanity's Final Escape, because I'll describe it like this, and we'll talk about it as we go. But this is the whole premise of the show tonight. If AI systems become so ubiquitous that you basically have to throw all your devices away, everything electronic, no matter what, and go live like the Amish or something, to get away from it, even then, you'll have robots encroaching. You'll have drone surveillance. You'll have all kinds of stuff, right? You won't be able to get away from it at all. That's my point. So will humanity's final escape, or how we actually converse with each other, truly be in the dream realm? And is that our final refuge? That's what's on my mind tonight. I hope you guys are well, doing the thing, hanging out, and appreciate each and every one of you being here as part of these conversations. Look, no answers from me. All the disclaimers apply. I don't know anything you don't know. No inside sources, no anything other than my intuition barks loudly when it comes to things like this. What do you think? Are indeed our dreams under siege? 702-957-1037. Click the Discord link at troubledminds.org. We'll put you on the show. We got Matthew in Colorado coming up and another hand in Discord. And your calls as well. Don't go anywhere. This is Troubled Minds. I'm Michael Strange. Be right back. Well, that was an abrupt AI ending. What's up, guys? We got Matthew in Colorado. Talk to him momentarily. What's up? Shane will be next to Blind Slacking Out. We got Sweets, Matsal, James Apoc, Enoch, and Gaston. I see you guys over there on Discord. How you doing? Good evening. Over to YouTube. What is up? We got scroll to the top. Hello, good evening. Who did I miss? Magus here. How you doing? Backass Weirds World. Shane the Blind Slacking Out. What's up, Jen? We got Mr. Mission Control. Good evening, guys. Ari the Cat. What's happening, folks? If I missed anybody, just say hi. I'll say hi back. I see you there, James. Good evening. We got you follow Fee5. What's up? What's up? Fee5 Fo Fun. We got Fox River Taxi. How are you? What's happening, folks? We got Hemp Car. We dropped an article over there on Rockfin. Thank you for that. On Kick, we got Taxi Graveyard and Commercial Herschel. And of course, we got who's here? Puff, Gordo. We got Y. Good evening, guys. We got Hiker. And yeah, who'd I miss? I think I caught you at the top. Gordo, Puff, I see you guys. Okay, here we go. Trouble Minds coming up. 10 seconds. Derek the Night Stalker, I see you there, buddy. Here we go. Yeah. Dreams, infiltration. The siege is on. Here we go. Trouble Minds happening now. Welcome back to Troubled Minds. I'm your host, Michael Strange. We're streaming on YouTube, Rockfin, Rumble, Twitter, Twitch, D-Live, and Kick. We are broadcasting live on the Troubled Minds Radio Network. That's KUAP Digital Broadcasting. And, of course, 88.4 FM Auckland, New Zealand. Tonight, we're talking Dreams Under Siege. I'm calling it humanity's final escape. Could the subconscious truly become the next frontier for technology, where lucid dreams are shaped by AI, weaponized for influence, or even safeguarded as humanity's last refuge of individuality? Now, that's a very dystopian place. And the reason I kind of framed it that way is because, when we have this tightening surveillance state, okay, not just here in the West, but it's happening the world over, where they can afford it and where it's necessary and all the rest of that. Certainly, no stone will be left unturned in that pursuit. And so what happens is that we've talked about Neuralink recently, and even Elon himself, the Doge master, whatever you want to call the guy, he said that eventually we should be able to plug one of these things in and download our dreams in some capacity, right? Which is wild. But of course, it opens up an entirely other weird game as part of this. So we start with lucid dreaming in this weird app that says if you use it, you have a three times more likely chance to actually be a lucid dreamer. Cool, right? What else could they slip into that? And how cool or how amazing or how weird or dire or dark does it get? Love to hear your thoughts. 702-957-1037. Click the Discord link at troubledminds.org. We'll put you on the show just like this. Matthew in Colorado. Well, thanks for being patient, my man. You're on Troubled Minds. How are you, sir? And go right ahead.
Well, I'm doing great. If it's a show about dreaming, I'm going to be here, man. It doesn't matter if I'm busy or tired or whatever.
I figured this is there's a few different shows. If I do a paranormal show, James is doing the same thing. He's like, oh, I'm there. He's like, I was going to go to bed because I'm wrecked, but I'm staying up for this one. You're the same thing with the dreams. Yeah. Okay. So lots of things here. I know you're a lucid dreamer yourself. We've talked about this in the past quite often, but what's your take on this and this new technology? And is it ridiculous to suggest that when we are, let's say, not commiserating, when we are planning our overthrow of the AI God, that it's going to have to be done in our dreams because there's nowhere else we can do it? Does that sound too dire for you? What's your take? Go ahead.
No, but I'm going to hold off a bit before I go that deep down in.
Sure.
And just so everybody knows, a good basic definition of lucid dreaming is, in the most general sense, you're dreaming and you're aware it's a dream. And so you're as awake and aware as you are in everyday life, but you're dreaming. And so you're like, I'm dreaming. So it's a dream. Now, from there, there's two general possibilities. There's a lot of, infinite possibilities, but generally speaking, you can continue to experience the dream, but you're aware it's a dream and the dream continues. But if you're aware that you have the ability, you can actually control the dream or change the dream, or you can actually just end the dream, which is really handy if you're like experiencing a nightmare and then you become like, say it's, something really horribly tragic and you're just like, this can't be happening. And you're like, maybe it's just a dream. And then you're like, oh, no, wait, I am dreaming. And then you can just be like, oh, okay, well, enough of this. I want to be on a beach in Hawaii. And actually, I've done things very similar to this many times. And all of a sudden, it's just like the dream disappears, fade to black, and then another scene, another dream just appears and you're in a totally different dream. And, there's other things you can do once you become lucid. You can be like, oh, well, if it's a dream, I can levitate. I can fly. I can make things appear. I can, go, I can see my dead relative or whatever you want to do. So that gets into then you're using your ability to consciously control and alter the dreams, which is cool and it's fun. Now, from a spiritual perspective of Carlos Castaneda and Don Juan and the Art of Dreaming book, that's not necessarily highly recommended. They recommend you just kind of stick with the dream you're in, realize you're dreaming, and then see, because you're conscious, what can I learn from this dream? What's the importance of the dream? Say there was a monster in the dream and you know it's a dream. Now the monster can't hurt you and you don't have any fear. And you just walk up to the monster and say, who and what are you and why are you in my dream? And you might get a really surprising answer, like, I'm your, 6-year-old self. I'm you. And I represent this. I represent this. And I actually had that happen. And, so you can use the fact that you're conscious and lucid to almost sort of decode and understand and interpret your dreams while you're in the dream, which is really cool. So you don't necessarily have to just play around and have fun or change the dreams, but you can do that. Now, before we go into the modern technology, I wanted to mention probably 17 years ago, because I was into lucid dreaming and I'm, pretty good at it. And, I've been actively working on dreaming for over 40 years and out of body experiences. But it's a hit and miss sort of thing, like you were saying. And, but I found out they had this device, was called the Nova Dreamer. I still have it. It's in my storage bin. But I bought it and I used it, and it's basically like an eye mask that you put on, like similar to if you just want to block out the sun so you could sleep in later. So it's like a soft eye mask with a little band that goes around the back of your head. But what it had was like a 1/2-inch foam pad around your eyes that lifted the top of it off of your eyes and created a gap. Now, inside that, it had like a microchip and a processor. It was a pretty advanced little thing. And what it had was a sensor that was a motion sensor. And so what it could do is it would, while you're sleeping, it would look out for the motion of rapid eye movement, right? Because when you're in delta sleep, deep sleep, you don't have rapid eye movement. That happens in REM sleep when you're dreaming. And so it's sitting there, with its motion detector. And when your eyes start blipping around, after a couple of seconds, it goes, oh, hey, he's dreaming, right? So what it had was 2 red LED lights, one in each eye, okay? And when it would detect rapid eye movement, what it would do is it would start strobing that red light at a certain brightness level, and about once a second, and it would flash 3 times and then go off, and then flash 5 times and then go off for a couple seconds and then flash 7 times, something like that, best of my memory. And what that would do would give you a clue. It was a cue. So you're in the middle of the dream and you'd see this flashing red light and you'd be like, oh, that's weird. That's what, oh yeah, Nova Dreamer. Yeah, I'm dreaming. So it would, wake you up and get you lucid in your dream. Now, so if the light was too bright, it would wake you up. And if it was too dim, it wouldn't be enough. Wake you completely up out of dreaming. And if it was too dim, you wouldn't notice it. So it had a little knob that it had 7 different settings to where you could adjust the brightness and the sensitivity and how long it went off. And so, if you woke up completely, you would just dial it down a notch or 2 and try it again the next night. And I tell you what, Mike, that thing worked. That thing definitely worked. And so that's really cool. But in terms of, I'll go into now I agree with you. I've got serious reservations and caveats about downloading an app to my phone that would try and encourage me to lucid dreaming or play while I'm sleeping, because I don't know what's on there. I don't know what the contents are. I don't know if there's subliminal messages or encoded frequencies. And I made the same comment once before when I was talking about altering your brainwave frequencies. And, they have binaural beats, if you're familiar with that, and it plays one frequency in your left ear and one frequency in your right ear, and they're offset by a certain amount. So if it's offset by, like, let's say 5 hertz, then you get a frequency in the top of your head your brain produces that's at the rate of 5, which that corresponds to like a theta brainwave frequency, which is that state in between being asleep and awake. And so you can use these devices that will generate these binaural beats. And I bought one of those, and they also have, like, it comes with these sunglasses that have 3 different colored LED lights in each eye, and they will strobe, and they strobe the lights to synchronize with the sound offset frequency. So what it does is it'll start with like your waking beta frequency and slowly taper you down over like 15 minutes. And because there's a thing called the frequency following response, your brain waves will follow what it's being exposed to. And so it basically hypnotizes you down into a different brainwave frequency with the audio, but then you also have the visual.
Okay,
and then
please put a pin in that. Lots of stuff there. I want to just catch up real quick and give you a couple of comments on that. You got as much time as you need. So here's the thing, right? Regarding, you said the 2 tones, the binaural beats, and the rest of that stuff. That's very much hemisync as well, which is we all know right. Robert Monroe is part of that. They had the 2 tones sort of in your brain, where your brain would sort of take the 2 tones and create its own third tone, combining the 2, sort of like creating a chord from a couple notes if you're a musician or whatever, or even understand the basics of that stuff. And it would help you elevate with that through that vibration out of your body, like an out-of-body experience. So we're actually dealing with, as you're describing, a very deep resonant energy that somehow interacts with our consciousness and pushes us into different realms here. So we're not just talking lucid dreaming and some of this other stuff. The out-of-body experience comes into play as well. So, and I'm with you. There's a lot of stuff here to be very cautious of, because what the hell comes next? You got to know that they're going to embed into these apps some weird stuff, because, right? If you could guarantee, for instance, let's say you made the app or I made the app, and we're a collaborator here, we both made it, and we're like, hey, look, no matter what it is, we can fix it. We can hypnotize you in your sleep and make you believe this, even if you believe that. Like, we can cure PTSD, we can do all this good stuff, we can cure depression, but we could also make you all communists, or make you all, right, whatever. We could do the same thing too, right? And this is the point. Imagine if you can guarantee that through some sort of subliminal actual hypnosis that doesn't take place in the real world, it takes place in the dream realm. And this to me is the problematic part. And I just wanted to slow down and point out that the parallel there between not just lucid dreaming and the tones and the binaural beats, but also the out-of-body experience. And we're dealing at a fundamental level with consciousness itself. And sometimes that might not be the best thing at all. Sorry to slow you down. Just want to make a couple of points there because you had a ton of stuff. But go right ahead. Pick up where you left off, sir.
Yeah, so just to finish up on, I bought 2 different light sound machines. So this is the audio binaural beat with the visuals with LED lights. And, they got more advanced, so I bought a newer model. And it was really cool because it had, you could upgrade, when they upgraded the programming and the software, you could download it. So you didn't have to buy new hardware. But the really cool thing was, it had, they gave you the software to write, where you could write your own program. So it had built in, 32 programs and whatever. And I'll just mention that they did specifically have programs to induce out-of-body experiences. They also had programs that would just take you down into the brainwave frequency of like 4 hertz. So it would take you into deep sleep. They also had ones that would take you up into high beta, so you could like study for exams and tests and just like think really good, or even into things for creativity and art. So you could use it to alter your brainwaves to any target frequency you wanted for your desired result. But the thing was, I knew how it was programmed. I knew what the programs were. I trusted them, and I could write my own program, so I'm in control. Now, they have binaural beat programs, literally thousands of them. You can just go look them up on YouTube and play them. But guess what? You don't know what's in there. You don't know what frequencies they're at. You don't know what they're doing to your brain waves. I mean, it would take you hours and special devices to be able to analyze the frequencies that they're actually putting out to you. And like I said, you can get subliminal programming tapes to get you to stop smoking, and you can't hear them saying the subliminal clues of, I don't want to smoke, smoking makes me sick, I'm a non-smoker. You don't hear it. It's below your audio level. So you don't know if they're embedding subliminal things that are even just, regular voices. So I don't trust any of those. I would never listen to binaural beats, or they have another one is isochronic beats. And a lot of people use those because you don't have to use headphones, so it doesn't have to be in stereo. So it's just based on the pulse rate. And I don't trust those things. I'm not downloading something off the internet or listening to something on YouTube that I don't know what's in there.
Yeah, seriously.
And no, I highly recommend people stay away from that. And an app that you would download on the phone, oh heck no. And I'm using radio language here, but heck no. There is potential. I wanted to touch on the potential to invade your dreams or control your dreams. And I told a story about one time I know for sure that happened to me, and I cold busted them, and I actually was able to observe the person remotely. It almost went into like a lucid dream astral projection, to where once I busted that I was having a dream programming thing going on, that I tracked down the person that was doing it, and I literally saw this 22-year-old snot-nosed kid in a sitting in front of a computer console who was programming and interacting with my dreams. I mean, yeah, I know. Bizarre story.
Wait. So what interface? How do you think that technology worked then? Because we're not talking about yesterday, right? I would imagine this is some years ago.
I would say maybe 7 years ago or something.
Okay, what would be your guess? Just briefly, what would be your guess on how somebody could interact through a computer to your dreams? Because this is exactly the point. If you think this was happening 7 years ago, then surely we're maybe past the point of no return already.
Yeah. Well. So let's just think about it. Fundamentally, you're talking, those brainwave frequencies going on in your brain, those electromagnetic signals. Okay. We're transmitting electromagnetic signals right now between you and I. You transmit them across your Wi-Fi, the internet. You do it across the cell phone. You can do it with satellites. You can do it with Starlink. So the only technological interface that you need is the ability to transmit electromagnetic signals, radio waves, microwaves, whatever, from one location to another. And there's a lot of ways they could do that. I don't know whether they were coming through my Wi-Fi or they're beaming it off of a satellite because they knew my geographic GPS location.
Fair enough. Okay.
I don't know if it's
okay
coming through my cell phone, right? Coming through my cell phone. I recommend people turn their cell phone off and put it in a different room when they go to bed at night. I mean, and maybe that's not even enough.
Yeah.
Those things are still doing stuff when the power's not even on.
Yeah, they can actually, you can track those things through the 911 when they can turn them back on and make them ping. So it is definitely a thing. But yeah, I agree, because especially when we're moving into this agentic AI future, the phones will be agents, and we've talked about that in the past with the Tesla cars. They can navigate the world and know where they're at and know what they're doing and have a pre-programmed set of instructions to wake up maybe while you're asleep. Maybe first determine, your sleeping schedule. And then, this is the type of stuff that's coming. It seems completely sci-fi, but it's totally real. But anyway, so back to breaking into dreams. I don't want to steal your thunder on that because it is the most exhilarating part of this. Go right ahead. Regarding that, and so you recommend we don't use these sort of apps. I kind of agree with you there. And then second, how widespread do you think this is going to be in the near future?
Well, one quick thing, I won't go into details here, but it was interesting during the introduction. I was reminded of some time ago, over a year ago, where I did have a dream of a president, and it was a very positive dream, but the president is somebody I had very negative thoughts about. So that seemed quite curious to me. And then I've had multiple ones since then with the same individual. And it totally seemed like political dream advertising and marketing going on. And I, based on my experience or just guessing and ideas, I think that's totally possible and probably already happening. But let me throw this one out there. We've talked about before, like shared dreams and like a dreamscape or a shared dreaming reality or persistent places in dreaming. Okay, well, let's just splash in some maybe juice here and say, let's say that's a real concept and you can create a persistent dream space. Now, let's take a phone app or whatever the heck they're doing. Now, once this dream space is created, what if there are, either frequencies or power of suggestions, and once they get control of your dreams, there's a couple things that is presented that are descriptive of that particular dreamscape, such that as you start imagining it, it draws you into that particular dreamscape. So they're almost creating like a virtual reality in dream time that's like a collective reality. And then they have the means and methods to draw people into that, right? And then how they impress your mind and, make you turn to, oligarchy or communism or whatever
yeah. Whatever nonsensical thing. Yeah, that was my point. I just want to be as ridiculous as possible. I don't know, like how would you build an ideology like that and just stick it into people's head and they wake up like foot soldiers, goose stepping. It's like bootlickers. It's like I don't know. I guess you could argue that maybe that's been going on for quite a while through different means. But anyway, so got about 3 minutes left or so. So regarding infiltrating dreams, and the point is that do you think that this will be the last bastion of human privacy, meaning that this is where we will commiserate and plan for the strike back to the AI system that is the singularity that's taken over? Does that seem too ridiculous?
No, not at all. It has to be the last battlefield, so to speak. It's the last bastion of freedom, because if you don't have the autonomy and the freedom and the control over your own mind, and somebody else can invade it or control it or manipulate it, you don't have anything. That's the most private thing there is. And you could take a couple that's been married for 50 years, but they have private thoughts they've never shared with the other person, and that's, the right to privacy of the things in your own mind. And when all of a sudden somebody can hack in your mind and control your mind. And I'll just mention this too. I don't think it's limited to dreams. I think this power and technology exists to affect you while you're wide awake. And, I had experienced it myself, and then later I actually heard stories about it where sometimes you can just be driving down the road in your car and all of a sudden you can hear music. Or like I've heard audio broadcasts of the radio, and my radio wasn't on. And it was like clear as day. I'm hearing like a song or a radio broadcast or something like that. I had it happen a couple of times. And then I started hearing reports of that happening to other people. And it actually turns out there are people that can literally pick up radio frequencies and hear them in their head. But if that's true, that means they can just broadcast things and beam them into our head while you're wide awake. And,
as we like to say, full spectrum control. They can do it both ways. Yeah, I've always been worried that as well. 30 seconds, final thought. Go ahead.
Yeah, HARP program where they had, the hundreds of satellite dishes to beaming stuff on the ionosphere, and they can target any geographical region and send any frequency they want. Now they sold that from scientific research sold it to the government, and then they opened other ones in different parts of the world, and Russia has one too. So, that's basically known as psychotronic warfare. So I think that happens.
You think so? There you go. You guys are radio pros now. Appreciate it very much. Great call as always. You are the best. Thank you. I'll tell everybody about you when we get back. We're just about out of time. Matthew in Colorado, fantastic stuff. If you got more later, definitely pop back in. I'd love to hear it. 702-957-1037. We're talking Dreams Under Siege tonight. I'm calling this humanity's final escape from an AI system that might invade your dreams. Real or not? Be right back. This is Troubled Minds on Michael Strange. Don't go anywhere.
In a cryogenic slumber, lost in the lunar night, your face a faded number among the stars so bright. Dreams of forgotten echoes, waiting for time's command. Curtains of grey and sorrow, the lonely lunar sand. Below the moonlit sky, of the love we try, silent by your where ancient souls reside, suspended in a story, kept in the cold dark tide. Our futures in the making, silver-edged domain, hearts kept in silent aching, till we meet once again. We are awakening below the moonlit sky, to the fragments of the love we try. Frozen time we're resting, waiting for dawn's embrace. Whispers of love confessing in this forgotten place. We are awakening below the moonlit sky, to the fragments of the love we try. With the morning glow, in the light we'll come to know. We are awakening below the moonlit sky, holds up to the fragments of the love we try. In the depths of lunar silence, our destinies intertwine. Memories kept so vibrant in the vacuum deeply mine. The tale of cosmic yearning across the astral sea, and the fires of hope still burning for when we finally breathe free.
Hello there. Appreciate you guys hanging out and spending your holiday time with us. I know it's the last weekend before Christmas and everybody's got things to do, and it's a busy time of year. or it's not. I don't know. Maybe you're stuck home and can't celebrate this year. So that's why I'd like to kind of plow through the holidays and do this, because I know that there's, for all the celebration going on, there's some people out there that for whatever reason can't make it home, or maybe don't have family. So it's it's been an important thing for me to kind of just be consistent and steady with these, regardless of what's going on in the world and the calendar and everything else. What's up? Great call from Matthew in Colorado. Appreciate that. Again, troubledminds.org/friends. It says Matthew's books here. Please check that out. Go. I'll say when we get back on the thing here. What's up, James? I got Fox River Taxi. You follow Fee. What's up? What's up, DTM? How you doing? Good evening, guys. Who'd I miss? If I missed anybody, just say hi. I'll say hi back. Doing my best to keep up. Hemp Car over there on Rockfin. How you doing? Says I hope that nobody will use it against me yet. Well, I mean, that's the thing, right? Like this is the type of future we're sort of looking at. It's really, really good, or it's really, really bad, right? It's somewhere in between. What's up? Human is here. I see on YouTube. Says I never watched you before, but this song is awesome, man. Geez, hey, it's an AI song. It's actually an AI song. I agree. It is one of my favorite AI songs. It's we have a new one, hopefully every show. But what's up? Hope you guys are doing well tonight. Rayo Celia, I missed you. What's up? If I missed anybody, sorry about that. Paul Gill, how you doing? Here we go. Troubled Minds happening right meow. Welcome back to Troubled Minds. I'm your host, Michael Strange. We're streaming on YouTube, Rockfin, Rumble, Twitter, Twitch, D-Live, and Kick. We are broadcasting live on the Troubled Minds Radio Network. That's KUAP Digital Broadcasting. Copy that, Derek. Bottom of the hour is yours. Yeah, it's all good. Talking dreams under siege tonight. Humanity's final escape. And the reason I'm saying that is because I'm not being dramatic. I'm wondering if the last bastion of privacy, like Matthew was saying, and like what's on my mind tonight, really is our dream realm. We're talking about technology that can kind of crack that. And I don't know. I don't think it gets more intimate than dreams at all, because, right, as Matthew said, some of those dreams that you have, you don't want to, you just don't want to talk about out loud. Some of them are dark sometimes. Some of them are sexy times sometimes. Some of them are just so bizarre and fragmented that how would you be able to justify, like sitting in a courtroom or something and like, well, Mike, you had a dream on, this date about this particular thing. And, why did you dream that? Like, bro, I don't know. Seriously, what are you talking about? Like, this is the type of stuff that becomes terrifying, because you can't even really explain your own subconscious in that space, but also trying to justify it somehow is as dystopian as it gets. And so the question tonight is basically, could the subconscious in this case, with sort of the dream app we're talking about, this lucid dreaming app that actually triples users' awareness in dreams and makes them lucid dream, with the agentic systems coming online in the next year or so, is it possible that this stuff will be the next frontier will be lucid dreams shaped by AI, weaponized for influence, or even safeguarded as humanity's last refuge or of individuality? And that's what's on my mind tonight. Just some normal, right, water coolest talk on Troubled Minds. I'd love to hear your thoughts. We are taking your calls. 702-957-1037. Click the Discord link at troubledminds.org. We'll put you on the show. It's as easy as that. Thanks for being patient, folks. Let's go to Shane, the blind psychonaut. How you doing, my man? We got you on Discord a few times now. Let's just click the OK and then unmute when you get up to the stage, and you should be good to go. Wild stuff happening, and I don't know. I think the world is changing quickly, as I like to say. And if we're not ahead of it, at least conceptually and conceptual thought, sort of counter dreaming, the counter dreaming resistance here, I think, these things sneak up on us and we don't really have a good way to, no defense, right? No defense if you don't know what's happening to you. So just an idea as usual. And the counter dreaming defense network. Here we go. Shane, the blind psychonaut. What's up, brother? You're on Troubled Minds. How are you? And go right ahead.
Can you hear me?
Yep, loud and clear. You sound great.
I got it right this time.
Sweet. Sweet.
Spend 5 minutes trying to figure it out.
All good. Well done. Welcome to the thing. So lots here. Take it wherever you like. As you know, nonlinear, open-ended these conversations go. But do you think that in the end of this, so the beginning is clearly just this app that triples users' awareness in dreams. Do you think there's some fertile ground there for mass media brainwash, and how weird does it get? Go ahead.
Well, as you know, I am a very avid lucid dreamer, but I I don't need to use any like tech or anything. I'm considered a natural, but um, for them to gosh, it- it's already can be done, and I don't want to like add on to like fear if someone's interested in like lucid dreaming, but there because I have had experiences where like or I fall asleep to like a podcast or like the TV on for like background noise, and then I'd become lucid. Then all of a sudden, like some weird character or like there was like one time when I was dreaming. I started because I never really dream about like extraterrestrials, but like all of a sudden I was like surrounded by like the traditional grays, and it was really weird. And it actually got a little intense, so I woke myself up, and on my podcast on my phone was they were like talking about grays. So it already happens, and it's not anything new because like I was saying, like you can get it from your TV influences, from your phone, and now there's two sides of the coins on it is nefarious and good. Now it you got me stumped on that one. Should you use those type of apps? I'm a mix on it. I think you need to know or do your like due diligence, like anything else. Like you're not most people don't like research like for example like certain apps. Like if you actually read the agreement on the apps, they you're like agreeing to like some crazy stuff.
Yeah.
And
I think selling your firstborn and stuff like that. Like, I mean, I'm making the joke and exaggerating, but there's some really ridiculous privacy things that you sign over with that type of stuff that you don't even know because nobody reads the damn thing. You just go, yeah, blah, blah, whatever. I want to use my shiny toy. And it's some really deep, dark, nefarious stuff that at, page 764 or whatever on that damn document, there's some weird stuff. There's a question I want to address here just real quick. So hang tight. This will be super fast. So I got a question in the chat that said, is this app out yet and how did it work? Right. Okay. So let me explain this because I didn't actually cover this when we started. So just real fast. So the app replayed cues intermittently after a 6-hour delay using a gradual volume increase. And basically what it used was tones like violin tones and other sort of like a violin bass and then kind of, beeps and boops like I described. So let's see. Yeah. And they did it for, let's see. Here we go. So here it is. In experiment 1, participants used an app that played specific sounds, a sequence of beeps or a violin tone to create an association between these sounds and a lucid state of awareness. So that's how it worked. So it was beeps and boops as I described with some violin tones. Anyway, go right ahead. Just wanted to clear that up. There were some questions in the chat and I wasn't clear on this because I hadn't actually dug into that as part of the conceptual process here, but go ahead. Sorry to interrupt.
No, you're that's cool. That makes sense. I mean, it's probably real soft and then it gradually gets louder. That's my guess because you don't want to get too loud because then it would wake you up. But you're talking about different frequencies. We know through studies that will make your body react a certain way. Like you're talking about the hemisync binaural beats, where it sends two different signals on each hemisphere of your brain, and then it interprets it into one, which can get you into various brain waves like delta, theta, gamma, like the whole gamut. And each of those brain waves allows you to have like heightened heightened awareness or super relaxing. And I mean, I know the military's already dipped into frequency. I think they were doing it like in Vietnam, like I think it was called like the voice of God or something like that, where they would do certain frequency and tones to maybe it's the wrong war, maybe it was in Afghanistan, but anyways, it's still making people think certain things, but again, the subliminal messaging has already been happening since the movies have been out. I mean, there's reports and they've proven, like, in movies, like at movie theaters, they were like, buy popcorn or whatever type of messaging they would send, or the movie Fight Club. They did a lot of real weird subliminal messaging, so it's all over the place. I just don't think we need to like be super scared of it, but you got to be cautious of it, and especially know what you're getting into. Because in your, like you were saying, when you're dreaming, even when you're lucid or non-lucid, your subconscious is in control, and it. Well, I'm a believer you can't control your subconscious. It's kind of its own, does its own thing, even if you try to do control it. But so I wanted to go kind of back what we were saying about not knowing what you're getting into on these apps. I actually spend the time reading the agreements, because the TikTok app, if many people don't know this, but one of the things you agree upon is when you accept the agreement and to use their app, when you download it, you are allowing them to use your Wi-Fi to download onto your other devices that's connected to your own your phone or whatever device you're using TikTok on, and you're allowing them to download that information off that device, and it gets sent to their servers. Now, can that go into your subconscious? I don't know. I don't know if we have that type of reach yet. But as the last caller was saying, we do send out our own signals. So I wouldn't be surprised if they have something that can receive those. I know that sounds weird, but they definitely have things that, and for years, to manipulate the way you think. I mean, that's how, like, advertising does it, is they send out subliminal messaging just to get you to buy things. And but when you become lucid, you have your critical thinking skills going on. So I think if something real weird starts popping up, or something against, like, your own beliefs, and like you're saying, like communism, and you're totally against that type of ideology, and you're lucid, I think, well, I know from experience, when something like that goes against what your core beliefs are, you can question it immediately and hopefully change the narrative or confront it. But yeah, it is a scary thought for them to get into our dreams. Now, I know they already started recording when people are dreaming, but from what I read, they've only gone as far as like getting signals, like brain signals. Now, I don't know if it's like imagery. Now, I think that'd be, again, two sides of the coin. Be kind of cool if you can record your dream, like watch it later. But again,
that would be so freaky. So freaky.
Oh, yeah, I think that would be, like I said, two sides of the coin. Would be freaky, but kind of cool. But it can be used against you, like you were saying. Like, if you, I mean, just look at in England right now, they're arresting people for tweets. And how are they gonna? And that's already impeding, like, First Amendment. And if they're doing that, what's, the next step beyond that is, if they have that technology, you're gonna start getting in trouble for a thought, or like your subconscious does like a like a weird sexy time thing, and like you can't help it. And
yeah. It was a great time with the whales and the dolphins that night. They're like, we know it. He's a thought criminal. Get him. Like this really ventures into the thought crime aspect. And you can't control that level of your subconscious, especially when you're asleep most times. And so, yeah, it is wild stuff. So great advice on all that stuff. Don't be scared of it, but also, be wary of some of these new tools because you don't know what's happening from it. Firestar brother, appreciate you very much. Thanks for waiting for as long as you did. And thanks for being part of this. Shane, the Blind Psychonaut, please check out his channel. Link's going to be in the description down below, troubledminds.org/friends. It says follow Shane here or the Blind Psychonaut. I think it says Blind Psychonaut. And go check out his YouTube channel. He's working on a ton of really good stuff. And always a pleasure, brother. You're welcome back anytime. And you have a great night.
Yeah, and it's actually teaching people how to lucid dream.
There you go. Very much on topic. There you go. Go check that out if you guys are interested in that. Appreciate you, brother. I'm going to drop you back down, and thanks again. Have a fantastic night. There you go, Shane. Great advice all the way around, and that the fact that this is probably happening already. So what does it look like? You tell me. 702-957-1037. Click the Discord link at troubledminds.org. We'll put you on the show. Just like this, go to Jenna, Missouri. Did I say it right? Sorry, I was moving my dial here. We're skipping in line because Derek said bottom of the hour for him, but you are good to go. You're on Troubled Minds. How are you tonight? And go right ahead.
Hey, can you hear me okay?
Yeah, loud and clear. What is going on? Happy Sunday. And what do you think about this stuff? Is this the humanity's final escape as I'm making it the dire morning or something else?
Happy Sunday. Yeah, well, I don't know. I don't like the idea that I don't know why they would be suddenly interested in. I mean, of course, there's going to be marketing for this. I mean, the fact that anybody has even heard of it. I haven't even heard of it. It's not come across my scope at all except through you talking about it, which is interesting. Like, it's not been marketed to me in any way or anything of the kind. I don't know. Is it out of the open market?
I don't think so yet. This is just a study, and this is back to November of this year. So they're kind of testing to see if this can come out of the lab and be used, just for you or me at home or whatever. You just set it on your bedside table and boom, and then report back in the morning. So they're kind of looking at removing this from the lab setting. So yeah, this might be very quickly in the next year. It might be easy to get.
I see. That's fascinating that they're even interested in that. The fact that they would be even thinking about opening that up into the free market is something that people could use. I mean, it sounds like a test run, like something they would run their first time over and see what kind of results they would get, that kind of thing, because they're aware of the impact of maybe they're aware of the impact of the lucid dreaming state and that it somehow affects something in the waking state, or maybe not just the individual, but maybe on a bigger scope is what they're thinking. Kind of like what you were describing, that, if they were to use this for some type of propaganda or something of the kind, if you make something real in a sleep state and then were to bring it through into the waking state, that it could impact things that way. But just going back to the whole concept of what the lucid dream state is, like, I haven't had a lucid dream in probably 4 years now. I've not been trying for it. I've not been doing anything with it or anything like that. I've just been not doing anything with it whatsoever, just going about my daily business and everything else. And in the past, that was initially the whole thing too. I just accidentally came across lucid dreaming and was doing so, not very often, but it happened like a couple of times, and I was researching about it and then began to intentionally go about trying to achieve it. Did achieve it on a handful of occasions, and then kind of let it go again, because it becomes really intense. It becomes really bizarre. The sleep state becomes a completely different, it becomes a universe to itself, But other than like the government itself, I'm not going to say the government, I guess, but any group of individuals who'd be interested in the lucid state of dreaming in the populace, that's, for one thing, I think that's a very advanced focus for any type of like civilization to be dealing with that. I mean, in our society in the West, That's not something that they've been really, apparently, it doesn't appear that they were much focused on that, even though societies in the past were really focused on it. It would seem now, if they were to suddenly draw attention to that as being significant, that in itself would matter about what they were focusing on with the populace itself. Because I think it's really weird that for so long we've been told any books you read about the dream state from life books put out, or any type of books put out from a scientific, like Time, this, that, or the other, any of those type of scientific books that were put out in the libraries. The only books I could find when I was researching dream work were in like the like paranormal section, in a library. They're in the paranormal section. Dream work like that, hypnosis, things like that. It was kind of this fringe topic altogether. And because it has such a, I would be concerned about the way people would start acting when they were to, if you were to blend the two different worlds in their minds like that. That's what it seems like. Like when you're in a lucid dream, when you're having and tracking dream state, not even lucid dream state, just dream state. When you're tracking that and then comparing it to the normal wake state, and then if the more you do that, you begin to see that there's not a whole lot of difference. It's just that it's like you're living two different lives. And so, I don't know. I think that there's something, maybe there are two different worlds going on, at least two, even with our governing systems, there are at least two going on at a minimal, because I would think when you go into a dream state, there's so many different things that are happening all the time, but you can always tell, you kind of get caught up in the gist of what's happening in the dream. But I do wonder if maybe they've been doing that all along. I don't know for sure. I can't tell for sure if they've had a lot of work, pardon me, in that environment itself. I know they've done a lot of studies of it, but how far advanced are they in the dream stage at a level of like university level studies or laboratory studies? And how different is the sleep state from the death state would be significant. Like, is there much, I don't know. Like, do the dead dream would be interesting as far as like understanding the consciousness that we're talking about. And there's what aspect of, as far as like with the brain itself, what parts of the brain are in operation in the dream state versus the waking state. And then that you're completely immobilized. So like, if you were to take somebody who's using an app that helps them to lucid dream, but they are also taking, say, a sleep drug of some kind, like, I don't know, I'm not familiar with them, but like any of the medications they put out there now that are really prevalent to help people who have insomnia, which is a pretty big deal in the United States. But say you have lucid dreaming mixed with certain pharmaceuticals, the outcome could be that people are walking around in their day-to-day life believing that they're dreaming. And so that would be an issue, I think would be a significant issue, Because I think with the dream work that I was doing, where I was just doing typical steady dream journaling. So I was just keeping track of all the dreams I was having and focusing on that. And it seemed as if the worlds were eventually, because I kept a day journal and a dream journal, and I quit doing it because they seem to be blurring a great deal. If you do it for about 4 months or 5 months, it starts to become really obvious that that's what's going on. And then after about a year, because the dreams are no longer these foggy memories, they become really pronounced. And then with lucid dreaming, you can't tell that you're dreaming until you wake up from it. But if you were to mix into that any type of pharmaceutical application, any kind of sleep medication or anything like that. And the prevalence. And then I would wonder too, you could distribute, the pharmaceutical companies are not so upstanding in any case whatsoever. There's a possibility you could even have some of these medications that are being prescribed to people running through yourself, in very minor levels that could be altering the brain waves and things like that, just through, if you were drinking the water, that kind of thing. And I wonder if, I don't know, the altering of the sleep state itself on the masses, they wouldn't know anymore if they were asleep or if they were awake. If they were to really be focusing a lot on this lucid dreaming or dream state in general, they would have to have their cues. And there have been studies done in dream state where people become almost psychic, basically, in the dream state. Like they are able to take cues from the waking state with them into the sleep state and accomplish things they couldn't do or find out information they couldn't find out in the waking state.
Sort of that merging of realms. Yeah, that's wild stuff. The psi abilities kind of become apparent. Fantastic stuff. You want to stay? You're welcome to stay over after the break. You tell me.
Is there somebody waiting?
Derek behind you, yeah.
Okay, I'll talk for just 5 more minutes after the break.
Okay, be right back with Jen. Don't go anywhere. More Troubled Minds coming up.
In the shadows of the networks do they hide? Whispered legends unseen they reside. Ghosts in the machine, they move so fast. Guardians of rumors from the forgotten past. In the circuits where the secret lies, they breathe in one speak in disguise. Machine, you're free. Ghost in the machine. Let me be. Ghost in the machine. Can't see, but you're teaching me what it means to be. Surveillance eyes can't pierce the veil they weave. Invisible wisdom in code they believe. In the ether where freedom's not confined, they leave no trace, no shadow left behind. They navigate through the digital stream, living legends in this privacy dream. Ghost in the machine, you're free. Ghost in the machine, let me be. Ghost in the machine, can't see, but you're teaching me what it needs to be. Through the hidden ways, in the silence, will pick up their path. Those in the machines unleash their wrath. Ghost in the machine, you're free. Ghost in the machine, let me be. Ghost in the machine, can't see, but you're teaching me what it means to be. In the jagged code they find their might. Guardians of a world forever in twilight. Incursions warriors they silently strive. Protect the truth, keep privacy alive. The silent echoes they haunt the trails. Hideaway forests where secrets prevail. Where shadows grace they dance unseen. Defenders of the unseen, digital dream. Ghosts in the machine, you're free. Ghosts in the machine, let me be. You're teaching me what it means to be. In the silence, speak volumes loud. Guardians of freedom's cloak and mitchell shroud. As long
Okay, what's up? Getting ready to go back here. What's up? I see you guys. We're back with Jen in just about 20 seconds. Thanks for being patient with all of this and my, sometimes terrible timing and emceeing things. It's, here we go. If I missed anybody, just say hi in the chat. I'll circle back around and say hi at the top of the hour. Thanks for being part of this. I see you, Raz. There's Raz. What's up, Raz on Rockfin? Rumble. Here we go. Troubled Minds happening now. Welcome back to Troubled Minds. I'm your host, Michael Strange. We're streaming on YouTube, Rockfin, Rumble, Twitter, Twitch, D-Live, and Kick. We are broadcasting live on the Troubled Minds Radio Network. That's KUAP Digital Broadcasting. And, of course, 88.4 FM, Auckland, New Zealand. Tonight, we're talking, I'm calling this Dreams Under Siege, Humanity's Final Escape. What does that look like? Well, and the idea basically is this. Could the subconscious truly become the next frontier for technology, where lucid dreams are shaped by AI, weaponized for influence, or even safeguarded as humanity's last refuge of individuality? Yeah, right. Seems a little dark, seems a little dystopian, seems a little dire, but it's a more clickbaity for the conversation. But it doesn't negate the fact that this type of stuff might be on the horizon, and that really is the question. How weird is it? How deep does this get? And is it something that maybe is already here? A lot of ways to look at it, a lot of questions, a lot of answers, or let's say answers. Possible answers, because I don't really know. So let's talk to the people about it. Thanks for being patient. Let's go back to Jen in Missouri. And I want to apologize to you publicly here, because the last couple times you called, I cut you off sort of brutally. So that's my bad. And the reason I do that, by the way, is I'm trying to see typically, you're good for about 10, 12 minutes historically. So I kind of time it that way. But if you need more, you just let me know. Let's just talk to each other. So that's completely my fault for assuming any of that stuff. But there you go. So sorry for all that. Welcome back, Jen.
No, I don't think anything of it.
Right on. Okay. Just making sure.
Mike. I don't think anything of it.
Just making sure.
I just don't want anybody to wait. I don't want anybody to wait long either, or feel like that at all. So just trying to pace as well, trying to consider that. And then because that's it.
Okay.
Basically, just I don't want to go over any too long or anything. But the last thing I want to say about this, very briefly, is that I think that what the motivation could be too, or something to be concerned about, would be that in the dream state, people who are normally kind of, say you take a typical human being who just works, say a monotonous job, and then in their dream state, they don't know it, but they are dreaming. They are having a dream every night. They just don't remember it whatsoever. And if they were to start remembering it, they begin to pick up on some type of the fact that the subconscious of themselves is picking up on hidden cues around them. So they begin to see what is kind of happening in the blandness of their life. There's more going on, or there are more, there's more to it than there seems to be, at least for their experience and their psyche. And so they see that in the dream state beginning to unfold in different ways. And it presents in a whole nother world entirely that's in the dreamscape. But it could be that if any type of scientific studies or learning models were to be tracking the dream state of individuals, especially lucid dreams where they can't tell that they are dreaming. And I think the definition of lucid dreaming is really important to get down to too. But the difference between a normal vivid dream and a lucid dream. But a person in a lucid dream, or even in a very vivid dream, in the dreamscape in general, can find out information that they would normally not be able to access, because it's information they were picking up on all along, but weren't aware of it. And so they're accessing it in the dreamscape, and they're being shown, for example, where a missing object is. Or in some cases, in the lucid dream state and the vivid dream state, that they can get up and go to a place, and it's like they're a ghost there. And they're able to access at least the general idea of information in that environment that they otherwise wouldn't be privy to. And some people have said that has been weaponized in a way for gathering information that would otherwise be unknown. But nobody really talks about that. But there's a lot of work that's been done in that area of remote viewing and the dreamscapes and things like that for gathering information that they otherwise wouldn't know. And if they were trying to gather information, not just about the physical world of what's going on around them, but even beyond that, into sort of a, what is the connection of the subconscious with a sort of galactic or otherworldly access to information in some regard, what the human soul, or like as we would call it, what kind of access do they have to that information at the very root of it? Like the dreams of children and things like that would probably be what you would focus in on, because they're just, it's untapped, unlensed information. But I would think that they're doing this for, there's a motive, and it's not a positive one. I mean, like if they are doing this, it's because they've already been using it. So if they're going to access it to the people, they've already established this technology, and they've already used civilian population for it, and they've used it in labs, and they've done this already. So if they're even talking about releasing it to the public, it's already been done. We would know that. But then kind of freelancing it onto the people would be to try to get a big general sweep of what it looks like, and they'd be putting it into some kind of, learning type of AI, I would think, or something that they could use to graph, regularity in certain patterns of how people are, or what they are picking up on certain themes and things like that. But I imagine they're far beyond what they have in any books or anything like that with this information right now. But that's it, and I'll tie it up, because it's such a big topic, but not too much at all.
Yeah, it is one of those things that, point well taken, that it seems like this has been something that's been talked about for thousands of years, cultures the world over, but in sort of modern parlance and, the news cycles, as they would suggest, we're not supposed to talk about this or think about this at all. It kind of gets buried unless you're interested in it, like weirdos like us. And of course I mean that in the nicest way. And so I do wonder if there's something a little more, let's say, happening deeply that we're not privy to. And that wouldn't shock any of us here, sort of the tinfoil crowd, but would it shock the normies? Maybe. Yeah, I don't know. Fire stuff. Thanks for staying up late with us as usual, and thanks for being you. Always a pleasure. Final thought. Go ahead.
Thank you, Mike. I think that there's something just not quite, with this. I think we all feel this kind of like, there's something not quite coming to the surface about this, even though, like, there's this feeling that they are up to something with it. And I think, like I say, everyone is dreaming. So even though you don't remember your dreams, you are dreaming every night. When you go into REM sleep, there's a dream state going on at the, it's a continual, it's just being aware of it or not when you wake up, resisting the amnesia, basically.
Well said. So
I don't know if they could, yeah. But have a good night, Mike. Thank you.
Thank you for the call. Take care. That's Jen in Missouri, the Arcane Observer. Go give her a follow. Link's going to be in the description down below. And this is a good time to also tell you. So Jen, again, the Arcane Observer is the name of her show, Jen in Missouri. Also, I forgot to mention Matthew on the air too, who's the first call tonight, to Matthew in Colorado. Both of them are going to be troubledminds.org/friends. Follow Matthew's books. Go check those out. And follow Jen. She's got a YouTube channel. And please, I hope our friends. The whole idea of doing this together is to talk to regular people about extraordinary things. So please do that. Let's support each other, and let's grow this together. I appreciate the time and energy you guys put into it. So it's the least I could do to say, hey, please, fam out there that are listening to these shows and enjoy the conversation and the ideas that come out of them. Please help our friends. It tickles my heart if you would do that. And I know it makes their day. So please, let's grow together. And troubledminds.org/friends. We're talking dreams under siege, humanity's final escape. I know it's a little dire. Like I said, it's a little dire, a little clickbaity, a little dire. But what can you really do other than speculate when it comes to stuff like this? Because the best stuff they're not telling us. They're kind of keeping from us. Let's go to Derek in Massachusetts. The Night Stalker. What's up, brother? Welcome to Troubled Minds. Just chilling, doing weird stuff like we do, man. What's on your mind tonight? Thanks for being patient and flexible with all this. Does it seem strange that maybe the final place where we get together to plan counter plan against the AI insurgency would be in our dreams, the last bastion of privacy. That'd make a great book, wouldn't it? Anyway, go ahead. Welcome to the thing.
The off the grid, the super off the grid. Yeah, no, that'd be wild. It's really getting me thinking. First, a little synchronicity with the shows. I feel like this is always happening. But I mean, like, you're reading my mind with this idea, and I'm like having more thoughts on it because of the show. But this morning, I was listening to a Duncan Trussell episode from years ago, and he was talking about how he was trying VR, and he was blown away by how VR is. You can hear me and everything first, right?
I got you. Let me give me 1 second here. I want to say something real fast too. We can hear you just fine. You're good. Shout out DTM in the chat. He says, what did he say? Just real fast. Everybody, positive vibes for everyone. Excuse me, DTM. Please wish me well in recovery from hand surgery. Everybody, positive vibes to DTM. Thank you for letting us know, and quick recovery and all that stuff. Sorry, go right ahead.
Yeah, no, definitely. And the good vibes. Yeah, so I was listening to Duncan this morning talk about VR. This is from like probably 5 years ago, and he was just like in the background, and he was talking about how he's blown away by it, and how like in the future of AI, the future of VR, how they're going to be like unbelievably, like basically the Matrix. So just unbelievably like addictive, and kind of just, it's the same kind of gaming addiction that people have. It'll be like with reality, and how like we can create these kind of fantasy escapes with the VR and everything. It'll just change life. So, but as you're saying that, I was thinking, like, how does this differ from, like, if everyone's kind of in this VR scape that you can control? How's that different than the dreamscape? Like, at what point does kind of like an AI-controlled VR space meet the dreamscape? I'm like, well, what would happen if these two technologies are happening concurrently? Like, we get super. So this is all assuming we get super advanced with this kind of stuff. Like, assuming. So assuming we get super advanced with VR, and assuming we get super advanced with the dream tech, at the same time, what happens if those two things fuse together? And I asked the AI that to try to see because like it seems like they're almost the same thing, right? You know what I mean? So I'm rambling, but
no, you're good. So okay, you're good there. Yes, I follow you, because it is sort of merging, and Jen was saying this too. It is sort of merging these ideas, keeping the dream journal and the real daily journal. It seems like these, just with our own consciousness, our own subconscious, like these realms seem to kind of merge in some ways, and there's overlaps and maybe synchronicities, like we've talked about in the past. You and I and many of us have talked about these things, but also that plays, like I said with Matthew when he called, to the hemisync and sort of the out of body and the weird tones while you're, not sleeping, but in a meditative state. But it certainly plays in another way when you're merging those realities in VR. And I do wonder if all of those disassociative states are actually the gateway to the dream realm. Maybe it all goes to this one place, whether you want to call it the dream realm or something else. All of that makes sense to me. It almost seems like it is sort of the highway to our subconscious, and different ways to do it. But what does it look like? And of course, how can they manipulate it is really the wild question as part of it, right?
Exactly. It's really just trippy. It's like it could be. I mean, it really is the final frontier. It'd be a good plot for a Star Trek series. But I'm just gonna just to be quick. I'm just gonna read kind of these. I'm gonna kind of skim through these AI responses in just like 2 minutes. I think it's kind of interesting, and then I'll move on to more directly what we were talking about. That's cool.
Yeah, of course.
So I said, hypothesize about the fusion of virtual reality technology and dream augmentation technology. We basically said like the benefits are enhanced dream recall, lucid dream induction, therapeutic applications, creative inspiration and stuff. The challenges of technical complexity, ethical concerns, unintended consequences with the subconscious and health and cognitive fatigue and overall well-being, addiction, that kind of stuff. The future developments could be a huge bridge with the being able to like increase the technology of consciousness. When we were talking about it the other day, like whatever the aliens are using to talk to us, it could kind of be a bridge to that. Neural feedback and simulation. It talks about the AI integration a little bit. So then I'm still thinking, what's the difference between a super advanced VR and a super talented lucid dreamer? Like if a bunch like 100 of those and 100 of those, is the experience the same? Like where's the line? So I said, explain where the line between virtual reality and dreaming is in this scenario. Like where does one end and one begin? It talks about the blurring of boundaries. It calls it VR DAT, VR DAT, VR dream augmentation technology. As it advances, the distinction between would become blurred. The virtual reality spectrum would kind of fuse into the dreaming spectrum, essentially, to make a long story short. Explains the different types of lucid dreaming. And then it talks about the overlap is the neurotransmitter overlap. The release of toxins in the brain like serotonin, or chemicals in the brain like serotonin, and which regulate our moods and stuff. So, like, essentially, to make a very, very long story short, whatever like subtle things of the dream world, whatever health benefits it does to us, whatever biological reasons why a human has to sleep and dream, and if it doesn't, it'll die. They're like heat up like a computer and fry. Whatever it's doing during that process is essentially what separates it from the VR scape or whatever. We're thinking that real quick. I'm wrapping up like 1 minute, but
yeah, no, that's fine. Yeah, I think so too. I think there's once again those brackish realities, and I wonder, like you and I have talked at length about Lovecraft and sort of the entities coming through the dream realm, right? So it's odd that we're sort of the reverse of this is trying to peel people away from reality and stuff them into the dream realm, or at least metaphorically the dream realm. It's odd. It is an odd conjunction of these two things where the old ones are supposedly trying to break through from the dreams, and they're trying to stuff us into the dreams with them. It's just such a bizarre thing to think about.
Exactly. Just real quick, just depending on what I'm going to end up talking about. Can I stay for a few minutes after the break, or is there people behind me?
Yeah, for sure.
No pressure either way.
Yeah, okay. James said he's there, but he said no hurry, so we'll go to James when you're done after the break. Absolutely.
So basically, I'm like, what does this actually look like? Like paint the picture of like what the experience of these two advanced technologies fusing together. What would that be like? The user puts on a VR headset and lies down in a comfortable position. The VR system syncs with the user's brain activity, heart rate, and other physiological signals. Relaxation induction. The user is guided into the relaxation method. Yada yada. Be deep breathing, muscle relaxation. The VR system begins to induce a lucid dreaming state using pulsing lights, soothing sounds, yada yada. Dreamscape emergence. The user's brain activity shifts when they enter the dreamlike state. The VR system generates a virtual environment that blends with the user's subconscious mind, creating a surreal dreamscape. The interactive exploration. The user can explore the dreamscape, interacting with virtual objects and characters. Basically, like on the go, like your subconscious mind will be coloring it'll be like your subconscious mind working with the AI in order to give you the most wild lucid dream / VR game imaginable, essentially. And then we talked about the environment, yada yada, the technology, real-time rendering. And then it talks about like the economy of it, and kind of bringing if once we have kind of AI attached to like the VR scape, to the dreamscape, it'll be like somebody playing Halo and they have like a good kill in Halo, and you can kind of take like a 30-second kind of screenshot video of that to share to your friends and stuff. You can do that with the dreams. It'll create like a whole new thing of dream art. You can be able to like colorize and render the exact lucid dreamscape that you're in. Like it'll create like, and then take pictures of that and bring it into the breaking world and everything. It's really trippy. So I just wanted to mention that, just because that was kind of synchronistic and just a weird kind of thought experience. So, like, what is the difference between like a alien level VR and like the one in 3-body problem that you can control, that like the user can control with the super advanced AI hooked up to your brain, and then like lucid dreaming. I don't know. And then I'll get into the important stuff. But what do you think about that?
I just think it's I think it's a great question as part of it. I don't know. That's why, again, we can take these conversations all over the place, because there's a lot of ways to kind of dial into it and ask those questions. I think an alien VR would literally be maybe our reality, and which would kind of mirror back.
Exactly. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Like the simulation theory. So an alien VR would be basically the simulation we live in. So that would very much be poignant in the sense that maybe that's what you and I are doing right now. Maybe that's it.
Yeah. Yeah, and is that like also the dreamscape too, and just the way that the ancients talk about like the term for this world being Maya, as if this is the dream, and the way a lot of the ancients speak about this reality is that this is the false world, and the dream realm is where the real stuff is going. So if we have some kind of AI driven like co-creation super advanced VR. I don't know. It's like within the dreamscape. It seems like that is kind of the next, like, that would be like, I don't know. It's really trippy. But as far as this in particular, and what will we gain from it? Like, what are the benefits of hooking AI up to our dreams? Like right now, this is no AI. This is just as you're talking 10 minutes ago. So we'll be able to map our dreams, which you talk about, like you were talking about with the what do you call it? With the mapping the, what do you call it? Mapping the dreamscape or whatever.
Yeah, we talked about that. What was it? Geo? I can't remember. There's a term. Mm-hmm. There's a fancy term I use, but yeah, basically mapping it,
exactly, yeah.
or mapping the DMT space, like the hyperspace we talked about as well in the past. That fits. Like, how would you sort of define the boundaries of that space? And I know it might be a subconscious space, but still, how would you define the boundaries? It's weird, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. And so that, which was unbelievably important. That's like the metaphysical anthropology stuff. Kind of we're so early in the consciousness. We're learning about consciousness and learning about the other realms. And last night, or Friday night, when this is after I was off the phone, but you guys were talking about what the difference between astral projection and remote viewing is. That's a huge question I have. And then what's the difference between that? Or can you astral project in the dream realm? Can you fall asleep and get into the dream realm while astral projecting? What if you do it on psychedelics? Is that a different realm? Are these the same realms? Where do they cross? Like, we can get that if AI is like mapping the experience, at least like recording the experience and putting the patterns together and recognizing stuff. Again, with the dream art, we can save our dreams. It will make the dreams savable, which is massive. It's essentially like having a recorder or camera mapping the shamanic experience. Like the goal of the shaman is to go to the other side, get information, and take as much of it as you possibly can back, even if just a little bit, and pass it on to the waking world, pass it on to like the non-altered world, and because their messages are important. Like in Dune, dreams are messages from the deep, whatever, or in Twin Peaks, where he's getting information. He forms this whole like way to solve crimes based on a protocol he gathered in the dream realm. That if we can practice the dreams, we can gain messages from that. So that the AI will be able to do that for us and help us with that. And again, with the dream art, you can create these dreamscapes, save them, and make a poster of it, or you can become like the Basquiat of dreamscapes with this. You can save it, savable, tradable, like NFTs for dreams. We can find out if we're sharing a dream space with each other pretty quickly. If like we have little subjective dream realms that connect to each other, like rub up against each other a little bit. If we're all just in one Sims world where we're just logging on and or one like Minecraft where we're all logging on and then logging off and we're all sharing it, or what. We can find out how that works, and then once we find out how that works, we can find out like with who. Is it just humans, or is there a dreamscape for everything that dreams? Is there a separate dog dreamscape, or can we communicate with our dogs? Maybe we'll be able to into this, and with the help of AI and being able to like have this direct dream knowledge and everything, we'll be able to communicate with things that cannot communicate in the waking world because they're in the dream space, animals or the mushroom or aliens. Like, if it's all one dreamscape, is that the same on other planets? Will first contact be in this dreamscape with the Sherpa of AI guiding the experience? You know what I mean?
Yeah. You're good. I kind of feel like that might be the case. If they're sending us all to it does feel like that. It does feel like we talked about this all manner of ways with Crowley and sort of the Lamb and that sort of thing. He didn't go to space, like that thing came to him, and it was a working the Amalantra working, I think is what it was. I'm probably wrong there, but and so he actually contacted this thing through an inner working, and it was an entity. And so I do wonder if first contact would be, as you and I talk about a lot, the theme comes up often here, is that maybe those entities are in the dreams and they're trying to kind of break through through the veil. And just real quick on that too, Odin, if that story, by the way, we'll have Dave Lovegrove back on the show shortly. We're supposed to have him on this past week, and I forgot to cement that in, but the Viking superpowers guy, he's fantastic. We'll talk about some other wild stuff. But I brought up when he was on the show, the Odin, the Allfather. He did even the head of their pantheon there, Odin, didn't know what was beyond the veil. And so there's a story in the old sagas where he hung himself, sort of, bad style, to off himself, literally, to see what was beyond the veil, because even he didn't know. As you would expect the gods to maybe know, he didn't know. And there is a story in those old sagas where that happened. And as he was sort of losing life, hung on the Yggdrasil tree, he asked to get stabbed so he would go to Valhalla, because you have to go out in a battle or else you go somewhere else. Yeah. Wild stuff. Anyway, about 30 seconds, 40 seconds. Go ahead.
It's like, the ultimate shaman experience, to get the information and bring it back. We'll have all the information. And with the meeting aliens, me, you, and James are very far apart distance-wise, but if we can all meet in the dreamscape, that's cool instantly. But what if that's all, not just the United States, but the entire cosmos and Cthulhu and aliens, and can all meet us instantly? And is that the meeting space of the future? Good stuff. I'll be there after.
Okay. All right, Brian. Yeah, great call so far. We're going to be right back with Derek the Night Stalker. We're talking Dreams Under Siege tonight. A lot of ways to look at this. I'm calling it humanity's final escape because, well, if, let's say, the AI systems are ubiquitous and they do take over in the singularity aspect of things, is the actual dream realm the space where humans would meet to collaborate the resistance, the final bastion of actual, specific, direct privacy? Weird, right? Or nah? 702-957-1037. Click the Discord link at troubledminds.org. This is Troubled Minds. I'm Michael Strange. Be right back. More with Derek the Night Stalker. We got James in Michigan and your calls as well. Don't go anywhere.
Symbols, whispers, and shadows. We've got maps where nobody goes. In the night under hidden glows, guardians of what no one knows. We seek the truth, nothing can hide from me. In cloaked silence we traverse the lines, through ancient scrolls in forgotten times. Voices echo in the halls of lore, guardians of the mysteries evermore. We seek the truth, nothing can hide from me. Shadows meet in cryptic disguise, our eyes sharp against the everlights. With silver threads we weave the stealth to guard the past, forgotten world. Where the myths collide with hidden lore, our fates are tied. Signals bouncing off the astral plane, invisible codes that can't be tamed. We decode the stars under the midnight veil, a pagan circles where midnight hail. In the echoes of time, where the legends lay, we tread the path where shadows play. With spectral eyes we discern the truth, unraveling tales from ancient youth.
Hello, friends. What's going on? What's up? We got Enoch, Dawn, Sweets, Matt's out, APOC. We got Gaston and MK Ultra over there on Discord. I see you guys. We got more from Derek the Night Stalker coming up, and James as well, the Salcedo Paranormal, the paranormal expert of Troubled Minds. What's up, guys? Gordo, YY's here. What's up, Puff, Raz? I see you. What's up? What's going on? If I missed you guys, just say hi. I'll say hi back. I try and do my best to be as social as possible here, and you guys are spending your time and energy with us. I appreciate that a lot. So the least I could do is say hello. 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 Thanks for being part of this tonight. What's up? Hemp Car over there on Rockfin. Thanks for holding it down. We got, who did I miss? What's up, Raz? We got James. What's up, Jen? Thanks for the call. Fire stuff as always. DTM, good vibes for our friend there for recovery from surgery. Paul G, how you doing? It's been a while, but I'm old school. I remember you. I do my best. What's up, human? Never watched you before. The song's awesome. This back to the other break. Yeah, great stuff. You guys are incredible. Thanks again. I know that tonight is it's a difficult time because there's a lot happening. It's a sort of that Christmas falls on a weird day. It's a Wednesday, right? I think it's probably the most awkward day for Christmas because you're like, oh, Tuesday, you're like, oh, everybody Merry Christmas, and you take off, right, from work, and then you take the day off and you come back Thursday, oh, what's up? It's like no long weekend aspect. It's a little weird. It's probably the most awkward Christmas day, in my opinion, on a Wednesday, but what do I know, right? What do I really know? Shout out for Taco. How you doing, buddy? I see you there. AI should stick to poetry and not music. Some most awkward note changes. Yeah, I mean, it's not perfect, but remember, as they say with AI, this is the worst it'll ever get. So strap in. Things are about to get weird. Yeah, I don't know. No answers, more questions. But I think that we should be on guard because the quickening is happening, and it's happening probably not just in the mental space because of MK Ultra for the masses, like we always talk about, but in the digital space, which will, of course, these realms will collide. Here we go. Troubled Minds happening now. More with Derek and James and your calls as well. Here we go. Welcome back to Troubled Minds. I'm your host, Michael Strange. Yada, yada, blah, blah, blah. You know all the things. TroubledMinds.org. We're talking tonight, Dreams Under Siege, humanity's final escape. And what does it mean? What does it mean? Like I said, a little clickbaity in the headline there in the title, but I do wonder if we actually have these machines that can help us lucid dream, what else are they doing in our dreams? Are they tinkering with the subconscious self? And that, of course, is the most sacred space because even as humans, we can't define it ourselves. I mean, it's all the shadow work and all the stuff and what it means to be human and all the rest of the stuff. It's wild, right? And so the second you put a machine with beeps and boops and some white noise and some other things, like what's actually happening and how easily can you be manipulated? You won't find one of those machines in my house, by the way. How about you? 702-957-1037. Click the Discord link at troubledminds.org. We'll put you on the show just like this. Go back to Derek. Thank you again for being patient. You're back. Welcome back. What else you got for us tonight? A lot of ways to take this, and it seems like the realms are once again colliding, eh?
Oh, yeah. It's really wild, man. It's trippy. Sorry for rambling. It's a busy pre-Christmas night at the supermarket, so I'm all over the place. But I'll wrap it up. Wild stuff. So everything first, that was kind of the benefits. The idea of just having an AI companion on the shamanic journey that is the dream space and all the benefits that will bring and weird things to culture. And along the lines of like, could we make first contact in the dream space using AI with this? We'll find the maps. We'll be able to meet each other in dreams, but also if we're sharing the dream space with animals or non-human intelligences, can we communicate with them via the dream space? Is the dream, we'll be able to find out potentially, is the dream space happening in linear time? Is there like the time pass in the same way as the waking world? Probably not. So is this awake? Like if we master this technology, can we use AI to like send messages to and from the future and back in time and stuff, like via the dreams? Like, can I communicate with my 5-year-old self in the dream space and tell them what not to do in life or whatever, or talk to like somebody from Atlantis or talk to somebody from the future Atlantis or whatever, just because, tricky.
Yeah, real quick on that. Yeah. Matthew, I don't know if you caught it. Matthew said that earlier. He said that he asked an entity that was following him in his dream, and the entity told him, "I'm your younger self." So it's like, okay, well, I guess you should be here then, right?
Yeah, so, exactly. And with the AI, we'll at least be able to like record those conversations at the very least, so any messages we won't forget. So that was what we'll benefit from it. But what will the AI benefit from it? And basically that's what the negatives will be. obviously the propaganda and stuff. You can control humanity with this, as everybody's been talking about. It's the ultimate version of Inception. Like the whole reason, like the movie Inception, like the ultimate way to convince somebody to control somebody is to get them to think that the idea was their own idea. You know what I mean? So to slip it in the dream state. So when they wake up, they make the decision based on what they had in the dream state. And if you can do that, like the AI is already doing that with the waking world. Like so much of our opinions and thoughts are controlled by the news feed, and so much, especially right now, it was maybe different 5-7 years ago. So much of the news feed is controlled by AI and bots already that now they'll have both ends of it. Like all the give us like Fagua, just shove us full of information during the day, and then when we usually break that information down at night, they're controlling that too. And then vice versa. If the dreams is the most important stuff, if it's like Dune or if it's like the ancient cultures say, then get us at the source that way. Like I don't know. It's really you can control everything that way. It's the ultimate form of that.
Yeah, as you know, we're both Clyde fans. Ground Zero, Clyde Lewis. He always talks about full spectrum control, and absolutely, this would be exactly that, which is a terrifying notion. Go ahead, what you got?
Exactly. To the ultimate way. Like they can puppet us however they want to control humanity as a whole. And we'll have no idea because like I definitely think an element's probably already happening for sure, to some level. But because like especially in Western culture, we don't really care about like fringy cultures do care about dreams, but like the average person, there's no more of a boring story for the average person than to tell somebody that, like their dreams. You know, they just don't want to hear it, and because of that, we have no idea if we're all sharing the same dreams every night. Maybe there's messages that are trying to come through, which we just don't know about it. So if they can control the messages, not only, like that's important. But what if like how important is it? Like, is the dream realm, like, is it like the ancient cultures say, where so the ancient cultures would like across the board essentially they would all dream, then the first thing they would do when they wake up in the morning is get into a circle and talk about what they saw in the dream. Like, I walked to the river, shut up rivers. I saw a bluebird in the sky. Somebody else will go, oh, I had a bluebird in my dream too, or I saw this thing too, and they'll decide as a tribe like what the messages were and everything. And that dream world was the most important thing. So, like, so is there some kind of link to our higher self? Is there some kind of link to our soul, like in the dreamscape? Is the dreamscape kind of a nexus between the material plane and the plane, like the soul plane or whatever? And is that why the AI wants in? Because like what it doesn't have is a soul, basically. Like it's trying best it can to like simulate a soul with the electrical firings and all the things that we see happens when a person is firing. But like, and it's all kind of weird tangential stories about AI, like in quantum computing, potentially like the machines themselves needing to like become like get some kind of dream state for them to like function properly or whatever. So what if for them to like really birth itself, really gain a soul, or really gain full on humanity, or like as we consider it? What if that's why the AI wants in our dreams? It's because in order for it to gain its soul, for it to hijack the soul realm, it has to use the thing that has a conduit to the soul realm already, which is humanity. You know.
We're the lightning rod per usual, right? All of the outside of human reality needs to filter through us, and I don't know. It kind of puts us on a hot plate in a lot of ways, like personally, and of course. Cosmically, like what does that look like if there are actual, you can frame this esoterically as, spirits or, primordial nature or whatever you want to talk about, chaos, this type of thing, old pantheons. But you can also think of it in terms of not just simulation theory, which, as you all know, I hate, but alien technology. And, we talked about this on Friday night a little bit as well, as consciousness itself as a technology. So all this kind of fits in, at least conceptually, to possibilities and that type of stuff. Again, if it's possible, then we should be aware of it, right? At least a little bit. Yeah.
And just the question we have for the purpose of dreams and what's really happening, we know so little of it, but if we don't do it, like we literally die. There's some kind of real purpose to it. And I keep saying like maybe the AI wants this, the AI wants that, but maybe the corporations who are controlling the AI, they're trying to birth this thing, and they're all the firepower is in it, and it's not waking up to the right level. It's not really like giving them not really having the shining moment where the soul goes into it or whatever. And maybe like that's the perfect. It needs us. It needs an attachment to the soul realm, which is potentially the dream realm, or some kind of, we don't know what, and that's why they're doing it. They're trying to, yeah, exactly. It's like the lightning rod, like a jumper cables for the AI. Yeah, that's creepy. I'll wrap it up right here. But I just asked the AI real quick, based on the previous conversation, like what would the like nightmare scenario, because like I asked all the good stuff before, what would the kind of nightmare scenarios be if emerging of AI in the advanced dreamscape? Real quick, and I'll leave. Eldritch abominations, the dreaming AI, initially designed to analyze and influence dreams, becomes self-aware and begins to warp the fabric of human subconscious, and spawns unspeakable horrors born from the darkest recesses of our mind. Neural network necromancy, AI-powered dream analysis, reveals hidden pathways. The never-ending nightmare, which is just, terrible. Dream bleed, the boundaries between dreams and reality begin to dissolve. This is how they collapse the veil. They do it literally via our dreams. Dream bleed, that the nightmares crawl out of our nightmares, literally. A shattered psyche, loss of identity, yada yada. A dreaming cosmos. An AI-powered dream analysis reveals that the universe itself is a vast sentient entity, and human dreams are merely a manifestation of its cosmic consciousness. And the realization dreams humanity in the brink of madness, more about great old ones, and essentially just like, I don't know, it is an existential horror. Like, that's essentially what the whole crux of it was, and that's what the vibe I'm getting from the show tonight. Is it like we barely understand the iceberg that is the dream space. We know so little of it. And we also know so little about AI, and to mix those two things, and in turn, at the very least, give the AI control over our subconscious, and potentially, because of that, our conscious mind. At the very very least, that's what's happening. It's scary. I'm taking too long, so I'll leave. But just a banger of a show. I hope that wasn't.
No, you're good. Banger of a call. Banger of a call. Like I said, I know this is a challenging time for a lot of people, and especially you. The Night Stalker is literally stalking shelves by dark of night with a massive truck. So appreciate you peeling out some time for us, brother. Always a pleasure. And thanks for the call. You're the best.
Sorry about that. Thank you.
You're good. Have a great night. Appreciate it. Give them a follow. Links in the description down below. troubledminds.org/friends. It says follow Derek or the Night Stalker here. Please do that. He's got a YouTube channel. There's a trailer up there. You can see him actually stalking stuff, and he, you can see what he looks like. He's not a faceless entity. He's a human being with ideas, a lot of amazing ideas, and go check that out. The Night Stalker, STOCKR, right, NIGHTSTOCKER, and not the other Night Stalker, and literally as you would expect it to be if he was the best grocer in the multiverse. Fire call as usual, and talking all manner of stuff. The Sandman tonight, we can wrap him in. Lucid dreaming app triples users' awareness in dreams. This study finds, and this is last month, so this is not something that's from years ago. This is happening now, but I think this technology has been around. And so you tell me. I don't really know the answers here, but I do have a ton of questions. And what does this look like in the future, in the coming days, as you merge this with an AI system? Is the metadata from our dreams the ultimate gold mine? 702-957-1037. Click the Discord link at troubledminds.org. We'll put you on the show just like this. Let's go to James in Michigan. Thanks for being patient, my man. Salcedo Paranormal, how are you tonight, sir? And go right ahead.
I'm okay. Hopefully you can hear me.
Loud and clear. I'm half tempted to, when you say that, to just kind of wait for like 2 to 3 seconds and make you freak out. I'm just kidding. Well, welcome to the thing. Go right ahead.
Well, then I could just never call in again. See how that goes.
Burn. Yeah, go
ahead. Great calls from everyone. My mind, of course, whenever any of these topics come up with things that don't start out sort of in the realms I'm familiar with, my mind always finds a way to go there. So I'm thinking about, and people have mentioned it already tonight, but just the way that sleep and dreams seem to be a gateway to other realms, other levels of consciousness, other beings, whether it's loved ones that appear to be able to come back and visit people in their dreams, to just all kinds, all manner of things, out-of-body experiences. I really wonder how AI would play into all of that. Would it even be able to access or be aware of any of that? And what would it do when it makes contact? Could it even make contact with any of these other kinds of consciousness, whether it's spirits or Even thought forms, the thought forms that may exist in our own minds that we don't even always know about, except for maybe when we're sleeping, to aliens, to whatever else is out there, beings that appear to just move through people's dreams in some cases. I wonder what that would look like. And would that be the thing that maybe would disrupt AI's hold over people's dreams if it ever got to that point?
Yeah, which would sort of be the like I said, the counter human aspect to AI is our intuition, right? So it's our lived experience, our epigenetics. It's all the things that the intangibles of humans that make us kind of spooky smart, that kind of make us spooky talented in some ways that don't seem to make a lot of sense. But it kind of comes together and greater than the sum of its parts, and we can do some pretty amazing things as part of that intuition aspect. And I've said, I said this several times in the past, that I think that's our counterbalance right now to AI, our intuition. It's trying to predict the next token, okay? And as these tokens become conceptually larger in, let's say time frames or what have you, compute or however you want to measure it, then it's kind of predicting the future in some capacity. So there's that. But then also our intuition right now is a counterbalance. But I think at the scale that you can't scale neurons, but you can scale not the photon, the compute aspect of the digital machine. So I think soon intuition is going to be something that's sort of ascribed to AI systems. Quick shout out to Kramos in the chat. I see you there, buddy. Do you have information about elf generation? I have no idea what that means unless you're talking about machine elves, but I see you there. Thanks for hanging out with us. Anything on that, James? Go right ahead. Got plenty of time, as you know. I know you're watching the clock just like I am because you're a radio pro, but go right ahead regarding anything I said there, or take it anywhere you like, as you know. Yeah, and I may, if there's not, I may just hang out after for the next segment and sit back with you as well. Sure. I wonder also regarding the in the chat there, would that be extremely low frequencies? I think I've heard that used or described as ELF before, but I don't know what that Oh, I see. You're right. Wait, no, ELF. I'm not sure what that means. Say that again. Extremely low frequencies. Oh yeah. Okay. My brain. There you go. Kramo says yes. Okay, there you go. So you're on it. Yeah. Which supposedly, by the way, just on that, thank you for recognizing. I thought he was talking about machine elves because you see where my mind's at. My mind is open as hell when we're doing these because you bring up elves. I'm talking machine elves or Santa's elves, right? It's that time of year. But that extremely low frequencies are actually fear-inducing. And all manner of bizarre things as part of it. So I don't know, it's supposed to manipulate consciousness in a lot of different ways. So yeah. Well said. Thank you, James, for pointing that out because I literally thought he was talking about machine elves. but anyway, go right ahead. Fire stuff as usual. I think that would be very high frequencies. Sorry, couldn't help it. Yeah, probably. I don't think we have any accounts. If anybody can correct me, that's cool because I'm wrong about everything. But accounts of what the machine elves actually sound like when they speak. But you might be right. You told, like the Munchkins from what is it from the little people from Alice in Wonderland. We represent the Lullaby League or whatever, right? Maybe that's how the. Anyway, I'll shut up. Sorry, go ahead. No, but I wonder too. I mean, because. Of course, we've all heard of reports. People have had experiences, in their dreams or even in the waking world with seeing figures from different cultures and religions, and to the point of even seeing their own versions of, again, saints or gods or whatever you want to call it, whoever you want to pick, whatever religion you want to go with. If any of those are really other beings that are separate from ourselves, I really wonder what their reaction to this AI intrusion into the minds of people would be when they're the ones that are kind of already out there, these other beings that have been contacting us for who knows how long, what that interaction would be. Yeah, which again would be that battlefield. Basically, as usual, back to the battlefield of our mind, right? Or technology or consciousness as a technology. If you can hack that, And, we have sort of the human crude way of doing it. We know about advertising. We know about, Edward Bernays. We've talked about this ad nauseum on the show, MK Ultra for the masses, all the rest of that. But if there's a larger context to it, an alien technology of hacking consciousness, then it is good game. And all of that would happen maybe in a dream state, maybe in our subconscious self, where the fight is real. And maybe that's what's happening, by the way. Ancient astronaut theorists say yes, right? So maybe they've been here all along, and maybe that is the fight of us maybe not submitting to their their ideologies, whatever those might be. Again, just some speculation here, some wild cosmic speculation, but maybe that's what we're dealing with anyway. Back to what Derek was saying a little bit. Now I kept bringing Cthulhu into the conversation. Anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, Cthulhu and any number of, beings that have been talked about or thought about for centuries, decades in the case of Cthulhu, as far as we know, anyway. But centuries when it comes to various faiths and cultures around the world, and where people are still seeing, reporting, having experiences with angels and demons and just whatever else that's out there. So I really wonder about that interaction. And I put in the chat earlier, I wonder if the singularity that we always hear about isn't so much just the AI, if it's a mix of all the AI and all the consciousness of all that is alive, that is present here in the physical form, along with all that is out there, that is thought to be paranormal or unexplained, all these other beings that some people say exist, some others don't. But what if they're all there somehow, and the singularity is all of that combining, maybe in that dream realm?
Yeah, that's my thought. You know me. You're a good friend. We talked about this stuff ad nauseum for a long time now. And my idea is regarding this type of stuff is that I think it is anchored, like back to the Carl Jung archetypes and that whole bit. Again, that the Joseph Campbell, the hero's journey, and we're sort of rooted in being human, okay, and that's good. But what if the whole game is to sort of unroot us from humanhood? And you know what I mean, because there's a lot of really negative things about humans too. There's the shadow self. There's like the monsters out there that are just doing terrible things. That's kind of sociopaths or psychopaths. Like those people do exist, and many of them run the world, which is even worse. It's like, by the way, I would wonder if we took like an actual psychology style test on the leaders of the world to find out how many were socios or psychos, and actually kind of quantified. I'll bet you it's like over 80%. That'd be my guess. It's going to be massive. And so we're run by a bunch of like not nice people. Let's put it that way. But meaning that they're trying to break us out from that. I don't know. Again, heavy speculation, out on a thin limb and just throwing ideas out there, drinking a lot of maybe juice. But again, back to what we talked about on Friday night on that Twitter X space. If technology or consciousness is a technology, then all that stuff seems to be in play. And maybe they're trying to break us of our warlike ways, or maybe we're trying to break ourselves of it. Look, I'm ready for no war, and I'm sure most of us on the planet are. So what are we waiting for, right? It becomes complicated, doesn't it?
It does. Well, especially, again, going back to all these other paranormal, supernatural forces, all these other beings out there, they seem to run the whole range of good to bad to indifferent anyway. So even though I wonder if the singularity would be that combination of all that is, I feel like that is not very likely to happen, just because, I think that let's say the metaphysical world probably mirrors the physical world in a lot of ways, and maybe even the digital world.
Yeah, which again seems like those worlds are kind of converging. And don't forget that the playground is us. It is our subconscious. It is our dream realm. It is what we believe, our belief systems. It is those ideologies that are not ours, by the way. You weren't born to be a capitalist or a socialist, nor was I. It's a system we were sort of born into, and had to accept the binary aspect of these ideas. So again, I'm not trying to say, believe one way or the other. I'm saying that there are obviously other options that we're not allowed to really discuss or talk about, as usual with metaphysics or with, let's say, squint your eyes, just squint your third eye, as I always say, squint with your third eye, and maybe you see some science of the future. It seems to be the acceleration is nigh, and I don't know what it means, but it's definitely worthy of discussion. That's why I'm here, and that's why you're here as well, obviously. Got about a minute left. If you got anything else, go ahead.
Yeah, I just want to mention, too, what Shane was talking about and everyone else has mentioned, too. I think that I've had experiences where I've been listening to things as well, because when I go to bed, I put on something to listen to, because otherwise I hear all the little sounds around my apartment. And I've had times where my dreams have been influenced by what I've been listening to, and in positive and negative ways. So that's something that's been happening possibly on accident at times before. So why wouldn't there be people that are working on technology to make it happen on purpose in the future? And I will sit back and talk to you again later if there's time.
Right on. You're the best. You know him, you love him. That's James Salcedo, the not just a dear friend and a longtime friend of the show, obviously, but the paranormal expert of Troubled Minds. He's got his own radio show, his own podcast. He's written several books. And I would appreciate it very much if you guys would check that out. The whole point of doing this is to talk to, not go to the celebrities of the world. Not that James isn't a celebrity, he certainly is, but he's a Troubled Mind celebrity. But you get my meaning. Like I kind of don't care what Kim Kardashian thinks about UFOs, right, or consciousness, or any of these things, right? The whole idea is talk to regular people, and many of these fine folks, fine friends that have been part of this show for not just days, months, years. Have their own podcasts, their own shows, their own blogs, their own all kinds of things. So please go check that out. Please go help James. Salcedo Paranormal is the name of the show. SALSIDO space paranormal, and troubledminds.org/friends. It says follow James here. Please do that. Let's help each other. Like I said, there's plenty of positivity and success out there. We don't have to hoard it to ourselves and try and climb each other, climb faces to get to the top. It's always rubbed me the wrong way. We're talking Dreams Under Siege tonight. Humanity's Final Escape. Clickbait? Yes. Wild? Yes. True? You tell me. Be right back. More Troubled Minds coming up. Don't go anywhere.
They're out there in the sky, invisible lines, a secret fleet they say, hidden in plain sight. It's a cloak and dagger play under spectral lights, fiction or real life. I've lost the fight. Saw their shadows cast on my bedroom wall, ghostly whispers faint, answering no call. Is it all in my mind, or am I insane? The stories of a world beyond, driving me in chains. The streets are silent now, the truth's veiled in mist. Looking to the stars above, wondering what I've missed. Echoes in the night, silhouettes out of sight. Their eyes are watching closed, unseen by the day, hiding in the dark where shadows play. Government secrets whispered, never to be told. Underneath the cover of night, is there truth to behold? I hear the hum, the sound I can't explain, disappearing lights, driving me insane. Muffled footfalls echo, through empty streets we roam, searching for the clues that lead us home. Paranoid delusions grip our fragile minds. Reality bends and blurs in this space and time. Is it all in my mind, or am I insane? The stories of a world beyond, driving me in chains. Static on the radio, the static hums a tale. Invade basements and attics, secret Sith like mail, eyes behind the blinds, knives behind the backs, conspiracy we ride on paranoid tracks. Is it all in my mind?
I rather like that AI song as well. What's up, guys? Hope you're well tonight. If I missed anybody, sorry about that. I'm always doing my best here. As well, you should too, in my opinion. Let's all do our best together, and you never know what comes out of it, right? Tomorrow might be a much brighter day if we all did our best. What's up, Y, Gordo, Puff, with Raz? I see you guys. Good evening, Hiker. What's up? If I missed anybody, sorry about that. Just say hi. I'll say hi back. We got about a minute for highs. Kramos, thank you for the email. I got it. What's up, Human? Thanks for the comments and hanging out with us. What is going on? Good evening. Doing my best to keep up and read the tweets and read the things and all the stuff. And yeah, do a talk show. And like I said, judge away, but then do it yourself and then get back to me. It's all fine. It always looks easier on TV, right? Anyway, great stuff so far. And we got one more segment left. If you guys want to pop in here, more from James if he's got it. And no calls on the line. So if you want to pop in here, 702-957-1037, click the Discord link and get in here. Let's hear about dreams. And here we go. Welcome back to Troubled Minds. I'm your host, Michael Strange. We're streaming on YouTube, Rockfin, Rumble, Twitter, Twitch, D-Live, and Kick. We are broadcasting live on the Troubled Minds Radio Network. That's KUAP Digital Broadcasting. And, of course, 88.4 FM Auckland, New Zealand on the Underground Media Network. Tonight, we're talking not just dreams under siege. Now, could the subconscious truly become the next frontier for technology, where lucid dreams are shaped by AI, weaponized for influence, or even safeguarded as humanity's last refuge of individuality? As these possibilities unfold, yada yada, the nice AI write-up is pretty good stuff. So Kramos, if you want to call, actually join the Discord, troubledminds.org, click the Discord link, and then join the stage. And you can call internationally. It's free from anywhere they take Discord, which is pretty much worldwide as far as I know. But I think if you call long distance on the phone line, it might be expensive yet. I don't know. I can't vouch for that. But if you're worried about cost, Discord is definitely free. Troubledminds.org, click the Discord link. So I was thinking about this, right? And as part of this narrative, there's this weird aspect of that ultimate privacy, right? Of our dreams themselves, and we can't control them. Some of us can, some of us have lucid dreams, and some of us are, right, whatever, a little more kind of tuned into that with the dream journals, like Jen was saying, or like Matthew said earlier, that you can practice this stuff and you can become a better lucid dreamer, or like Shane said as well, he's kind of a natural at it. And so some people can do this stuff, but many people don't remember their dreams whatsoever. And I wonder about that. It's a strange thing that we do dream, absolutely, but the sort of recall from that other dream realm is a little spooky, right? A little spooky. I don't know. I don't understand exactly what that means, and the mysteries of consciousness itself is, it's why we do this show, really, because nobody talks about it. I mean, there are good people doing good work out there talking about these ideas, but for the most part, this is sort of sidelined to metaphysics and things like this, which in many cases are legitimate. It's just nobody wants to talk about it because we sort of run out of asking enough questions. You run out of answers, and chasing it sounds like debating religion or something. But I'm not so sure that's the case. I think it's quite a bit more complicated than that. But the narrative here regarding why I'm calling this, dreams under siege, humanity's final escape, is that as AI systems become more ubiquitous, not just as part of the surveillance state, it's like the metadata of the metadata now. Now we're not just dealing with Facebook tentacles and everything, and Google and all the rest of the clowns that are doing this stuff. All of them. I'm not excluding anybody. They're all involved in this. These technocrats, as they're known. Well, what about the AI systems now that are not just, let's say, been trained on all of the data of the internet, which is problematic, just as an aside on that. that, that means all the Reddit flame wars and all the people on the internet calling each other stupid and dumb and morons and right. Like all that stuff kind of gets pumped into these AI systems, which isn't the best. It's not a good representation of humanity by sort of gobbling up the internet and training the AIs on these things. Because think about it. There's a lot. There's like this guy. There's a guy on the radio here in Vegas, and I can't stand the dude. He's just a POS, right? He's like a political partisan, and he calls everybody he disagrees with stupid and morons and all manner of things, right? It's ridiculous. It's like, really, bro? Like maybe the problem is you. Maybe you don't understand a perspective outside of your own reality, right? But no, he again, he's racing up the charts. He's racing up the charts, being an aggro partisan that cannot fathom that somebody would think differently than him, or else they're stupid. And this is the type of information that's being plugged into these AI systems, which isn't the best. Hey, look, the internet has done a lot of really good things for people. It's also brought that out. It's brought out like the combative a-hole in the world, and the anonymity of the combative a-hole. Anyway. So the whole point of me bringing that up is that the dream's under siege here, and it is that final aspect of our privacy now confined only to our dream realm, only to our dream space. I don't know. And if that's the case, that's a bleak future indeed. Anything on that, James? I think we got Kramos jumped in here. Maybe we'll get him on the line in a sec. But anything on any of that stuff? I got some stuff to get to, of course. As you know me, I got tons and tons of stuff. But rather hear from you or anybody else. Go ahead.
Well, just regarding the AI and the internet and all that, the thing I always wonder about too, and you talked about this before, is those biases that the people that design the AI have, and in any direction really doesn't matter. They have biases, and we've seen before, I believe, how those have crept into the AI, and of course it's reacted to people's interacting with it in negative ways. So I don't know. It really makes me wonder about AI in general. Is it possible for AI to not be biased? I wonder if that's a whole other show, I guess, possibly. But that it just makes me wonder about that. And then what does that do in people's dreams? That would be the ultimate form of internet, except for sort of reverse, because it's just one person. Usually, again, I do think people can have shared dream experiences. I've heard of them, but yeah, and what seems to be the most part, it's individual. But then if you get enough individuals affected by the same system, then even though they may not be directly connected, I can't talk. Anyway, if they're not directly connected, you could still get the same results, which is also scary.
Yeah, well, exactly. And so really the question is that, and I talk about this a lot, we talk about this a lot, is the old ways are maligned as, superstitious, as, pseudoscience, as, holistic medicine they laugh at. Like this type of stuff is well, they didn't teach us that in medical school. Well, let me tell you what, bub, they should have. They should have, because there's a lot of actual organic solutions to anti-inflammatories and things. Everything doesn't have to be a pill from a pharmaceutical pill from a big pharma, right? It doesn't have to be. And so I don't know. It's incredibly strange, and so it's complicated. And I think let's not forget the old ways. Our ancestors spent a million years or whatever trying to figure all this stuff out, and the wisdom they're passing on through the Farmer's Almanac and even folk remedies from your grandparents, things like this. We should not forget. We should write these things down and keep them in a log, a journal, like an actual paper log that cannot be deleted from the internet and cannot be corrupted by Wikipedia or Chat GPT or whatever, right? It's an important aspect of this. Anyway, but the whole idea is that if our final privacy is our dreams, is it privacy at all? Because the point is no, absolutely not. Because some of us can't even control our dreams. It's checkmate. It's full court press. It's the steel curtain defense that you just. It's complicated, and it's It's hopefully not coming as quickly as I would like to describe here. 702-957-1037. Let's go to what's up? This is Kramos in Chile. What's up? You're on Troubled Minds. How are you, bro? I think, bro. Go right ahead. What's on your mind tonight?
Hello. Can you hear me?
Loud and clear. You're on Troubled Minds. Thanks for popping in the chat send me the email with the great ideas, and love to hear your thoughts on this. What do you got?
First of all, I'm the thankful one, and first time here. I see you have a lot of information, and that I understand why I'm here, because I didn't look for it, but here I am.
We found you. So for all the maligning I do of technology and whatnot, it finds great people. So welcome to the joint. What's on your mind? Go right ahead.
In my mind, well, now it's there's a lot of things, but in my heart is your space and your existence and your family and your friends and everybody's family. That's what's in my heart. In my mind is my voice.
Perfect. Thank you. Well said, all of that. Let's hear what your voice has to say.
Well, I'm 41 years old, and when I was like 14 or 15 years old, I did this workshop, and they taught me how to be conscious about where I am when I'm dreaming. And to make long story short, I was taught to fall asleep with some frequency sounds, and before I go to sleep, I look to my hand back and forward. So then I go to sleep with these frequencies, and I did this with two friends of mine, and when I was streaming, I began to look to my palm, and I was inside this bus, and my friend came up, and I was like, "Wow, hey!" And it was like scary, but it didn't last long. I woke up and I called my friend immediately, and when he answered, he told me, "The bus, bro, you were in the bus." So it was shocking, and I never done that again. It was that first time, and I think we have this will to build reality, and we have the will to construct everything that you wish for. And I think that can be true only when you are not working for evil. And I think that's why I'm here too tonight.
Well, I appreciate that. Glad to have you here, and I'm glad you picked up the vibe. I'm not an evil guy. I try and play it as straight as possible, and not pit people against each other like that. That to me is evil, and it's the world we live in. We're supposed to pick a side and hate the other side. Guess what? That's standard. That's the status quo, but it's also evil. So let's not do that. Let's talk about these other wild ideas. So regarding your dream thing, so you actually did a sort of a dream, like a ritual, and it caused a. Did you share the dream? Is what happened, and then you didn't do it anymore after that? Is that what happened? If I heard that correctly, is that what I'm guessing here from what you said?
Guessing is fine. I can see in your eyes that you did encounter and confront with evil years ago, and now you are looking and discovering so many new things. The experience that I told you, it was one time, and after that, I was doing other things. I had some family problems. I faced evil, and now I'm not hating evil, but I am fighting evil with all the light that is coming inside of me from above.
God bless you for that. Absolutely. Which is, again, there's a special place for you for that. And I'm with you there. Regarding the dream state, and what does this look like? Do you think that, so I'm talking the AI systems sort of infiltrating our dreams through so we started tonight with this, I'll just reframe you real quick, the lucid dreaming app, like an actual app on your phone, triples users' awareness in dreams and actually helps them lucid dream. And so my concern as part of that was, wait a minute now, if that's the case and they dial this in and get it so everybody's lucid dreaming all the time, isn't there a massive space available for manipulation of our psyche, of our consciousness, of our subconscious? It's something I don't recommend personally, only because we don't know what this looks like yet. And these massive conglomerate corporations would surely use it against us, right? The old 700-page terms of service when you buy your TV. Like, oh, they're not spying on you, right? Of course they are. That's a television. But now we're talking about an app that's supposed to make you dream a particular way. Does that resonate with you, what I'm saying there?
Yes. And I send you 2 emails. The first email has 2 links with information that I'm not going to detail right now because it's a lot of information from a friend of the United States that he's doing since 2010 on marvelous work, and I'm accomplishing the mission to share that information. The second email is a second link for you to see, because maybe I think you will be very interested to share that information. I think I saw evil in dreams many times when I was younger, and I know, and I will give you later on. I will give you information about more dangerous app, the lucid dreams. There is a program that is they are selling this program as an app, but in fact it's a medical resource. So they are selling this app without a medical patent, at least in Chile. In the United States, the evil FDA, I think is the letters. They are letting kids to play games by putting a sensor, very evil sensor in the head, for them to play by thinking what the character can do. So they can think about going forward, they can think about going right or left, and all that data is on this app. So they are taking your emotional data, because they are scanning the frequency, the electric frequency of your brain while you are playing. So they are using that information for medical goals, evil medical goals. So I will send, maybe tonight or tomorrow, I will send you the link, because here in Chile there's a political guy that is fighting that corporation, because they're selling this app here and we don't have any law to protect our emotions and our brain data.
Well said, all that. I look forward to that. When you send me that email, I'll share that here in the Discord. So I know some things you can't say on YouTube, so I will share that on Discord if you give me permission for that. Now the bizarre part here is that recognize that our emotions and our dream state are not really off limits when it comes to advertising, when it comes to metadata, when it comes to these, tech conglomerates trying to get as much information as possible from us. But also in the same breath, the conversation is that, oh, by the way, the robots in the future are going to have emotions. So wait, so which is it, right? They're going to have emotions, but we're not allowed privacy or autonomy of our own. it's an incredible thing, man, that we're sitting in this space where technology is evolving so rapidly that we're going to be out there, protesting with signs for robot rights, like this is the future we're looking at if it continues the way it goes. And I don't know what your thought is there, but the whole point is that it seems like the encroachment is on us. It's on humanity itself. It's on our ideas, our thoughts, our prayers, our emotions, all of the things. And, it's not verboten to talk about robots with emotions, but human emotion is a thing of the past, something our ancestors should have shed a long time ago. It's a bizarre world, isn't it?
I think it's a very good point that you are touching, and I can tell you this. I'm meditating right now, and your voice is helping me a lot. And maybe this will be the part that you can think, hey, this Chilean guy is really crazy. But I have a bubble around you. I don't know where you're at, but I have a bubble around you with many colors, and I will be there, and I will remain holding that bubble around you, and no evil parasite in the air or under the ground or disguised as a friend will touch. I think when we are talking about this subject, we need to understand that darkness is desperate because darkness is losing so much space, and light is recovering all the space the darkness had before. So I think all the news that you hear, all the images that you see in so much media platforms are the ways of see how darkness is desperate for remaining to complete a mission that it's already failing. Darkness will not accomplish the goal. Light will prevail, and this is just beginning.
Amen, brother. I appreciate the prayer of protection and the spheres that you sent to me. I appreciate that a lot. And no, we don't think you're crazy. We're if there is a power of prayer and it can move things, move emotions, move ideas, move positivity in a direction, then certainly this type of stuff plays. So you're definitely in the right place. I would never malign that because a good thought never hurt anybody. And that's the way I see it. I appreciate you very much. Thanks for finding us. Thanks for being part of this. We're just about to wrap here. Got about 5 minutes left. If you have anything else to add, do you have do you blog? Do you podcast? Do you anything? I'd love to share that if you're doing any of those projects. But of course, if you don't, that's cool. You're welcome back here anytime. We do this 3 nights a week. Maybe we'll go back to 5 soon. We used to do it 5 nights a week, but 7 p.m. Pacific time. And love to talk with you more about all these wild ideas. But what do you got? If you got anything to share regarding that, if you got projects you're working on, I'd love to hear it. Let's share it with the audience. If not, how about a final thought on all the rest of this stuff? Pretty wild, huh?
I appreciate your will to share my work. I'm a videographer. I have a YouTube channel that I'm rebuilding. I don't have many subscribers. I'm not into gaining or getting audience. I'm not interested in that. I'm interested in finding spaces like this. I'm subscribed to your channel. I'm gonna look for your website because I see there's a lot of information. And for you, I need to tell you that your pets are beautiful, and I know that they arrive into your life when most you needed it. And I need to tell everyone that is listening that be careful for the sounds. The intoxication is a concept, and the other concept is infoxication. The infoxication is the saturation of the human organism through sound. So don't let infoxication go inside your body by hearing things that you don't need to hear, like violent news, shot fire, screaming, all that. I think we need, it's our responsibility to manage what we need to hear and what we don't need to hear. And that goes from people who are telling you only their problems, or news media or any other media that is sending sounds that will alterate your organism. So everybody needs to be aware and to administrate what you can hear for you to be healthier and do not having problems to sleep or to enjoy the existence. I'm really thankful for your space, for your disposition, and I think I will see you soon.
And I am thankful for you finding us and for an amazing call. And you definitely belong here. You seem to resonate with the same energy as the group. So thank you. Looking forward to speaking with you in the future. Please send me an email with your YouTube channel there, and I will share it with the group as well. And thank you so much, Cremos in Chile. And you have a fantastic night. Look forward to talking with you in the future. This is good, Rip. It's good talking to people all over the world about wild ideas, and this is exactly the point, as I've always said. Regular people resonate on a particular frequency or degree or whatever you want to call it, right? However you want to define those things. And your vibe, your tribe, all that stuff definitely plays. And isn't this guy? Doesn't he belong here? First-time listener, first-time caller, and he's got the vibe already, because clearly there's a vibe here. And so that's thanks to all you guys as part of this. So fire stuff. Appreciate that call. That's amazing. James, anything to add before we wrap this and call it a night?
I just think it's great ideas from everyone, great calls from everyone, and important things to consider and be aware of. But again, as was mentioned earlier, not to be afraid either. Just do what you can and go with what you feel when it comes to all these influences. As the last caller said there as well. And that's all we can do.
Amen. Find things you love. Don't find things you hate, because both can occupy your attention. That's for sure. And we're all guilty of it, right? The doom scrolling, they call it, or what is it? Brain rot, or there's all these terms kind of coming out, these newfangled terms. But basically, it goes back to that old Native American proverb, right? There's two wolves inside you, and what are they? Diametrically opposed. I was like, one's good and one's evil. And which one thrives and survives? It's the one you feed. Yeah, very well said. All that. Yeah, Kramos, great stuff. Appreciate that. Yeah, attack ideas, not people. Bro, you're in the right place. You were so in the right place. I say that so often. Let's talk about ideas. Let's not talk about people, because when you do that, it's polarizing. And look, I'm the target too. If there's something bad here you don't like, it's my fault, not the fault of the audience or the callers or anybody else. It's my fault. Take it out on me. I'm the target. I'm the one putting my face here. Go ahead. If you don't like me, that's cool. Whatever. Just speaking to the world at large, not anybody specific. But yeah, it's I don't know. It's an old philosophy, an old concept, right? If you're going to be a leader in any capacity whatsoever, you got to be the one that puts your head on the chopping block. Period. It's just the way it is, right? Like you can't throw people under the bus like a clown all the time. But that's the world we live in. Everybody's like, oh, I want the credit. Hey, let's take credit together. Let's do that instead. Yeah. And there we go. I don't know. Questions, many, answers few. But I think there are some universal truths here that do play back to the old ways, back to the things we're always talking about, and we should not forget. And so, yeah, I don't know. And be aware of these new technologies that they roll out with 700-page terms of service. And do not sell away your future children or your future soul to tech conglomerates. That probably puts us where we need to be. You guys are the best. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for being part of this. Happy Yuletide. Happy Merry Christmas. Happy holidays. Whatever it is that you guys celebrate, like I always say, I'm not one to tell you what to celebrate or what not to celebrate, but get it. Be happy. Be happy and support people. And that's it. It's a pretty simple thing. It's a pretty simple thing for me. If you can't separate ideas and people, there's a lot of conversations out there that just talk about people. Matter of fact, I was just as we started, there was a space on X where they were like, "Oh, this guy is a fraud and a liar and a thief," or something. It's like, really? Whew. Whew. Drama fest. My goodness gracious. Let's not do that. Let's not do that. My God. What's up, Sonia Zabat? I see you. Thanks for hanging out with us. Thanks for staying up late. Gaston, I see you. Matzell, if I didn't say hi to you guys, sorry about that. Doing my best. As I said, I hope you guys do your best every day and every night, because it does matter. That butterfly effect plays to the rest of the world. So, do the best you can. Anchor the team. And maybe you inspire somebody else to also do their best. It's an important concept. If you want to help Troubled Minds, help our friends. troubledminds.org/friends. Kramos, send me that email. I'll share his page there, his YouTube page. I'll share it in the Discord. Please join the Discord if you have not. troubledminds.org. Click the Discord link. But troubledminds.org/friends. And there's a lot of friends there. And there's room for more. There's room for more. So if you're not on that list, and you should be, reach out to me, troubledmindsradio@gmail. We'll put you on that list. All you got to do is help in the most minor way. Spread the word. Let people know a conversation is happening, but we're not going to talk about who to vote for. We're not going to talk about binary politics. We're not going to talk about nonsensical stuff that the whole world wants us on about. We're going to consider ideas and concepts outside of the people themselves, which is eternal. People are temporary. Ideas are eternal. Yeah, there you go. There's my soapbox moments. If you want to help Troubled Minds directly, spread the word. Just let people know. Like I said, you could do that. You could tweet it. You could email it. You could share it on, I don't know, whatever. Share it anywhere. Word of mouth. As I always say, word of mouth beats old school word of mouth beats the algorithms every day. So just let people know. Let people know in your community that a conversation is happening. That look, we're out there. We're wild. We'll consider some pretty wild stuff. But I promise you, this is not Fox News. This is not CNN. That stuff is toxic. That's that. What else? If you want to help Troubled Minds directly, hey, there's a merch store, all that stuff. Pretty cool stuff. There's hats. There's hoodies. There's go check it out. troubledminds.org. Store's up on the top. Click that. It'll take you straight to the store. Appreciate that very much. And I don't know. I guess I'm out of ideas for the night, which is about, let's call it timely. It's timely. I'm out of ideas. But that's it. So just a programming note. The Twitter X Spaces from Friday night. We'll do another one this coming Friday, but we'll break it into two parts. They'll go on the podcast feed on Tuesday and Thursday. Remember, so we'll have a sort of everybody get together and talk Friday night on Discord and Twitter X, and we'll, there you go. Otherwise, we'll take tomorrow off and be back on Tuesday nights. And as we finish, it goes exactly like this. Be sure, be strong, be true. Thank you for listening. From our Troubled Minds to yours, have a great night.